Yeah, means nearby, nearby, not exactly, so that it is.
Oh, super.
Yeah, but
Very nice, sir.
thank you. So because just now also it took some time. I was almost waiting for a few minutes, and I thought whether it is going to start or not.
Okay,
So
okay, sir.
so therefore I thought, okay, now it's no point again. I log out and log in
Okay,
again.
okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So thank you.
Okay. Preeta ma'am, you can start, ma'am. You can check it with.
Sir, let me check with Anuradha ma'am. No.
Okay, ma'am. Praveen, welcome, Praveen. Praveen, welcome, Praveen.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, Ramesh, sir?
Yes, yes, Praveen. Welcome, Praveen.
Afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's good evening in India. Yes, good evening.
Yes. So you can be in the video so that before starting the program, we can have a photo so that it will be okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sir,
Niranjan, you can take the photos, Niranjan, so that after that we'll start. I think all speakers joined.
Yeah, okay. Could you please switch on your cameras?
All speakers join. It is okay now. You can take the first. Okay. Preeta ma'am, we can start, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening and greetings of the day. On behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome all to the pre-conference 5, Shaping Energy Future, a preview on 6 global themes of ENERGATHON 24. It's my pleasure to welcome our President Agent Dr. L. Ramesh. Today we have 6 global speakers connected in this pre-conference. I welcome all our speakers, and our speakers are Dr. Lavleen Gaur, Mr. Bhaskaran S., Dr. P.S. Kumar, Dr. Deepak Vaikar, Mr. Anil Thomas, Mr. Praveen Tomar. Today's session is moderated by Professor Dr. T. Anuradha. I welcome her. It's my pride to welcome all the organizers of Energathon 2024. Finally, I welcome all our student volunteers who toils day and night to make this event a grand success. I welcome all the academicians, industry experts, student community who is connected lively with us. Now, may I invite our IGEN President, Dr. L. Ramesh, for the opening remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was very wonderful. Yeah, just 8 days to go our wonderful session that is 24 hours. Earth Day indexed IGEN Energathon 2024. It was very happy note that which the concept note initiated in year 2020 during the COVID. We thought of integrating the people across the globe through a common forum. That is what through IGEN the concept came together. Energathon. Hope you all know that in Chennai, in India, it is a hot summer now. Particularly in Tamil Nadu, last 2-3 days, it went on 30% hike in the demand. So present demand is 20,200 megawatt. Normally, our normal demand will be 13,000 to 14,000 like that only. It is a very hot, but through this hot summer, what we can do, we can collectively join together and reduce the energy consumption, because the energy triangle play a very big role. Through that energy triangle, we can play inside that energy triangle so that we can control the energy demand. So that is very, very important, because through that concept only, we got initiated the and in 2020 it is the 13 hours continuous marathon, and we had a different concept, different speakers across the globe. It is like a presentation when we started the ENERGATHON in 2020. We applied to the Asia Book of Record and we had communicated the recommendation to the respective members. It extended, and in 2023, again, we had a concept, 2-3 different concept, again the Earth Day concept, connecting people across the country, across the globe, and we had partners. In 2023, we had several partners to organize the event. Again, finally, we had communicated the recommendation to the concerned authorities. And again, we applied to the World Book of Record in Great Britain, and we received the World Book of Record. So then we thought that what we are doing, we are connecting the people. Through ENERGATHON, we got very good 50 volunteers. So this all happy. We participants, last time ENERGATHON participants is 25-30,000 participants are there. It all happy. But what we are discussing, we thought there is something, what improvement is needed. That is the reason this time we come out with very strong 6 themes. So this time we taken the 3-4 global themes: COP29, COP 2030, UN 2025 Energy Action Plan. So these 3 themes very strongly we taken, plus the Earth Day. The 4th theme which we taken very strongly. The 5th theme is India Plan Sustainable Development 2027. And the last theme is SDG for energy. How the energy can support to help to achieve the SDG 1 to 17. So the concept behind this 24 hours, this time it is going to be scheduled under this theme, and the recommendations what we are going to get, we are going to communicate the recommendation to the organizing committee of COP29. I am very happy this time. Deepak sir is one of the part of that. They are organizing again the very strong international conference on behalf of COP29. I hope sir will give more essence on that. And so this agenda, this 24th plan, the recommendation what we are planning, because the COP29 theme we taken, and that theme only our team is going to discuss on 2024. So like COP 2030, like Earth Day, like that. So this is entirely different when compared with the last. And this time, very good partners we are having, sponsors we are having. I'm very happy that Dr. P.S. Kumar sir company is sponsoring our program this time. And so this all collectively together, our ultimate aim, if any one recommendation which from ENERGATHON, which is considered in any one of these 6 forums, yes, that will be the happiness for us. So the very online discussion with the people, if it will be little considered in some international forum, no, so that will be very nice for us. So through this platform, we connected very strong big people. Today, Bhaskaran sir is here. So we have very strong connectivity within very short period. So I think 3 or 4 sessions already given through IGEN, Bhaskaran sir, to various organizations like that. So this kind of thing, and the student volunteers, we have very strong student volunteers. We connected very strong UK civil servant Praveen here. So this all happened because of ENERGATHON. So the like-minded people are connecting across the globe, and how we can able to contribute back to the society. So this is all about the plan, and very soon we are working to get ENERGATHON also indexed with UN Energy Compact is there. UN Energy Compact, we are trying to get connect maybe 2024. Before that, we will be able to get connect this index the ENERGATHON with that, so that we can be part of the one part of the contributing authority. This is what the plan. And Anil Thomas, Dr. Anil, Mr. Anil Thomas, he is one of our board of advisor also. So he is having good contribution from 2020. 2020, Anil Thomas is one of our top speaker, and he given a lot of connection behind that. So thank you so much. And the people, those who are watching today, you will able to get a lot of information, because very strong, very good speakers, those who are going to give you again that this is the preview of the conference. What going to happen on that is May 18th. The sample only today it is there. And on this occasion, I would like to thank Dr. Anuradha and Dr. Preeta for wonderful coordination with all the experts, and today we all are connected here, and around 10 institutions are particularly participating today. So we already informed 10 institutions principal. So 10 institutions are participating today, other than professional member, other than the industry members. So through YouTube, they all are connected there. So welcome all the members. all the students from the academic institution, all the professional members from the industry, all the professional members from the academic institutions. And today on these occasions, again, the Bhaskar sir is going to give you the presentation on his development of the app, how it will be going to help you to calculate the carbon credit. So a lot of good things which you are going to happen today. Thank you all. Thank you so much all. Once again, all the speakers connected here. And thank you again, our organizing secretary, Dr. R. Sakira and Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the genesis of Energathon, which initiated during the days of COVID-19. Certainly, this is a platform for us to get globally connected with wonderful speakers. It's time to get introduced to the schedule of Energathon 2024. For that, may we request Dr. Sahira, organizer of Energathon 2024, to get a brief schedule of what is going to happen on 18th of May.
Thank you, Prita ma'am, for
Madam,
briefing
just
it.
a minute. Madam,
Yes,
just
sir.
lovely ma'am. Can you please switch on video, ma'am? Because the last time it is lovely ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll have the Niranjan. You can take the photo. Okay, ma'am. Continue.
So very good evening to all. So I am Dr. R. Zahira from Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. I am also the iGen Energathon organizing head. And now I am going to brief about our session, which is scheduled from morning 6 p.m. on 18/5/2024 till 6 a.m. on 19/5/2024. So we are going for a 24-hour session this year. So last year we had 16 hours, which is running till 19-hour session, and this year we have scheduled for 24 hours world record event to break previous year record. So first session we are going to start by 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. with the launch of iGen Energathon 2024, and then from 6:30 to 7 again we are going to brief the session for all the themes as Ramesh sir introduced about we are having a 6 themes. So we are going to introduce to the participant about all the 6 themes, and then from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. we are starting with theme 3, which is about Earth Day 2024. The keynote presentation will be given by Prithvi Grove. Yeah, and from 7:30 to 8 we are starting with theme 6, that is advancing 17 SDGs through the energy triangle. So it will go till with the 2 sessions till 8:50 with SDG 4 and SDG 7. So it will be carried out by the organizing partners iGen, YGen Army, and also with the InnoSystem Solutions. So again we are starting with the inauguration. Since it's a 6 a.m., more participants cannot come for inauguration. So we have planned the inauguration of session by 9:15 to 10 a.m. for inaugurating our iGen Energathon. So again, we are starting with the session with the theme 5 with the keynote speaker from Energy Swaraj Foundation, and also with the Deepak sir from Singapore. So he will be coordinating the session till 11 a.m. And from 11 we are starting with again theme 6. It will be best practices by our iGen Energy Club and Save Club team. So it will be the students presentation, and from 11:15 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. we are with the theme 5, which is India SDG to 2027 role of energy. So it will be carried out by again Ensave Club of our iGen. So by 12:30 a.m. 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. we are having with the action of energy plan with the theme 4 COP 2030. It will be carried out with EduGate Global, and then from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. it is with theme 5 role of energy. So it will be like a conclave, energy conclave with the Indian Power Sector Vision for Sustainability. So it will be carried out by Dr. Kalam Foundation. So they are one of the partners for Energathon 2024. And again by 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. it is a student session with the iGen academic heads. So coming back to 3 o'clock session, it will be carried out by again Ensave Club. So we need a break between the partners. So we have chosen the Ensave Club. So they will be doing the various activities. So it will be carried out by Dr. Madan sir. And then coming back to theme 4, it will be starting by 4 p.m. till 5 p.m. The theme 4 is carried out again by the partner EduGate Global, and from 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. the partners are Green Brigade Private Limited. So they are going to handle the session till 6 o'clock with two themes, theme 3 and theme 4, from 5 to 5:30 and 5:30 to 6 p.m. So again, there is a iGen team is going to handle the theme 6 from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Again, the partners Greek Astronomy and Space Company, which is going to active from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And then we will be having the yes. So then we are having a pitch presentation with the renewable energy roles by the partner Elegant Emperor Education from Malaysia. And then we are having a partner GSFN. So they will be handling the session from 9 to 9:30. And the Light Millennium Charitable Global, they will be handling the session in the night till 11:30. They will be having a sessions by the partners Spines for Millennium also. And then we are having a break with the iGen Energy Club and Ensave Club students. So the main event again is starting from 1 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it is nearly India. It is next day morning at the 19th. It will be early morning. So it will be handled by EduGate Global, and then by 2 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on 19th. So it will be handled by partner. So it will be a debate session. So maybe abroad countries who is in the day, they may be handling this session. And we are having the session by 4 to 5, which is the offline energy for SDG, which is handled by MGR student of this presentation. And then we are ending up with the sessions like we have inaugurated. We are concluding the session with recommendations for all the 6 themes, and we are having a validatory by 6 a.m. So this is a plan of action, what we have planned till now. So I think we'll have a better session. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sahira ma'am, for briefing up the 24-hour schedule of Energathon 2024.
Thank you, Prita ma'am.
We have a vibrant moderator for today's session, Dr. T. Anuradha, Professor Head, Department of EEE from KCG College of Technology, a great academician with rich experience in research and administration. I welcome her and I request her to take up the session.
Thank you, Preeta, for a nice and short introduction, because I was thinking that whether the session will go for a long time. Green greetings to one and all present here. On behalf of Institution of Green Engineers, I welcome you all for the pre-conference 5 of ABR, WRCA and IBR World Record Certified 54th Earth Day Index, 3rd edition of iGen ENERGATHON 2024. Climate change is already affecting every region on Earth. 4 key climate change indicators, namely greenhouse gas concentrations, sea level rise, ocean heat, and ocean acidification, set new records in 2021. Multiple independent studies over the past 19 years have found that human activities have been the main driver of climate change. The climate is changing faster than humans, plants, and animals can adapt. Climate change can affect our health, ability to grow food, housing, safety, and work. Some of us are already more vulnerable to climate impacts, such as people living in a small island nations and other developing countries. Conditions like sea level rise and saltwater intrusion have advanced to the point where whole communities have had to relocate. In future, the number of people displaced by weather-related events is expected to rise. In series of UN reports, thousands of scientists and government reviewers agreed that limiting global temperature rise to no more than 1.5 centigrade would help us avoid the worst climate impacts and maintain a livable climate. Yet, policies currently in place point to a 3 degrees centigrade temperature rise by the end of the century. The emissions that cause climate change come from every part of the world and affect everyone. But some countries produce much more than others. The 7 countries, China, the United States of America, India, the European Union, Indonesia, the Russian Federation, the Brazil, were accounted for about half of global greenhouse gas emissions in 2020. We face huge challenge, but already know many solutions. Many climate change solutions can deliver economic benefits while improving our lives and protecting the environment. We also have a global framework, agreements such as Sustainable Development Goals, the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, and Paris Agreement to guide the progress. Everyone must take climate action, but people and countries creating more of a problem have a greater responsibility to act first. Three broad categories of actions are cutting emissions, adapting to the climate impacts, and financing required adjustments. Switching energy systems from fossil fuels to renewables like solar or wind will reduce the emissions driving climate change, but we have to act now. While a growing number of countries is committing to the net zero emissions by 2050, emissions must be cut in half by 2030 to keep warming below 1.5 degree centigrade. Achieving this means huge declines in the use of coal, oil, gas, which means over 2/3 of today's proven reserves of fossil fuels need to be kept in the ground by 2050 in order to prevent catastrophic levels of climate change. Clean energy technologies, from wind turbines and solar panels to electric vehicles and battery storage, do require a wide range of minerals, metals, and produce thus some emissions, but still far less than fossil fuels. ENERGATHON Energathon, the energy conference planned on 18th May 2024, is 24 hours marathon of events to deliberate 6 global themes and provide suitable solution for implementation. The 6 global themes covered in Energathon 2024 are: Theme 1, COP29, Energy Dependent Climate Protection. Theme 2, The Pathway to UN Energy 2025. Theme 3, Planet versus Plastics, Energy Role Towards Earth Day 2024. Theme 4, COP 2030, Sustainable Energy Plan. Theme 5, India SDCF 2027, Role of Energy. Theme 6, Advancing 17 SDGs through the Energy Triangle. The context of this panel discussion on Shaping the Future, the preview on 6 global themes on Energathon 2024, is to popularize the themes and to make the audience to understand the significance of 6 themes. We have 6 experts from different parts of the globe who are already working on different sustainable actions and creating awareness to younger generation. Each speaker talks about the importance of their themes, their action plan to be adopted, what policies and regulatory frameworks are needed to accelerate the adoption of clean energy technologies. This panel discussion has got 3 rounds. First round, each speaker talks about their theme and introduce their theme for 10 minutes, maximum 8 to 10 minutes. Then round 2 is a question session. If time permits, we go for the round 3. Otherwise, we will close the panel discussion. Without much ado, I invite Mr. Anil Thomas to talk on a theme 5, India SDCF 2027, Role of Energy. Before that, let me introduce Mr. Anil Thomas. Anil is an accomplished electrical engineer with a distinguished career. He served as an Indian Engineering Services officer with the Central Electricity Authority, Ministry of Power from 2008 to 2019. During his tenure, Anil contributed significantly to the development and regulation of the power sector, gaining invaluable experience in policy formulation, regulatory compliance, and infrastructure planning. Since 2019, Anil has held the position of Head of Power Grid at DNV in India. In this capacity, he leads consultancy services in the power sector, leveraging his expertise to offer innovative solutions and guidance to the clients on various aspects of electrical engineering and energy management. Sir, I invite you to present your presentation, sir. So you are on mute, I guess, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for my introduction. I'll quickly start with the presentation. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, according to SDA 2021 progress report, it has been identified that the affordable and clean energy is one of the most performing, has the best progress and achievement out of the 16 SDGs proposed. So, getting it done was not very easy actually, because India has to move very forward in renewable integration. So, India has taken encouraging steps in energy transition. They have put a lot of renewable energy, specifically wind and solar, but still predominantly India is a fossil fuel dominated power sector. So the aim will be to further reduce the contribution from fossil fuel and integrate more renewable. So presently, India has installed capacity around 50%, but the generation is only 15%. So to become it a carbon neutral by 2050 is difficult. It is only by 2070 renewables, the energy sector may become zero carbon emission. So India has an ambitious target of putting 500 gigawatt by 2030. That means every year from now onwards, India needs to put 50 gigawatt of renewable growth. So if you I'll just some number, whichever I spoke about, I just summarize it. If you just see the present capacity, install capacity wise, coal and lignite forms 51%, and solar is 16%, and wind is 10%, and the other forms, hydro forms 11 to 12%. But if you just see the generation part, it is still a coal dominated power system with 73% of generation coming from coal. The share of renewables are very less, so it has to be increased drastically. A lot of renewable needs to be put in the system so that the role of coal. So a planning is already under progress, and it has been the government of India is very clear that there will be a decline in the thermal station coming up, and the generation from thermal station has to reduce. So if you go by 2030, what is the aim is to ensure more than 30 to 40% alone will be from solar generation, wind will be forming 12 to 13%. So this is the expectation capacity addition or the change in the energy capacity mix by 2030. But even in spite of this aggressive renewable generation installation, the generation from coal will still be 55%. So definitely we are moving towards a clean energy source, but the pace or the way it is going may not ensure that the dependency of coal reduces below 55%. So this is one concern which still is on this. So just one slide I have added that how globally energy primary energy sources reduction is there. You can see that by 2040, 45, coal, oil, and natural gas, there will be predominant reduction in their net change, whereas solar, wind, and bioenergy will form. They'll have a positive role in playing how the energy is being consumed globally. So if you just look at the Indian sector, you'll see that still 2030, the coal will play a major role. Then only it will be declining it. So there is still generation-wise coal will keep on increasing. But yes, we can see there is a huge increase in solar generation and the wind also. But the dominance of coal still will be there. So India's roadmap towards clean energy, as we said that presently the generation installed capacity is around 57%, with wind capacity around 43 gigawatt and solar is around 62 gigawatt. This needs to be increased, and the government of India has already brought amendment to energy conservation bill, which advance efficiency and decarbonization measures, and even they have started penalizing for the electricity boards who does not meet the minimum renewable purchase obligation. And the government of India has also brought up a very aggressive target for renewable purchase obligation, where 50% of the total energy has to come from renewables by 2030. So India has also launched a national hydrogen mission with green hydrogen, where around 125 gigawatt of renewable will be installed only to meet the green hydrogen production in India. Already it has started in the Odisha state, where around 9 gigawatt of hydrogen commissioning is taking place. So that is something what we are moving towards clean energy use. The same happens for the transportation application target also. The new vehicles will be EV charged new vehicles, as what also India is planning about. And wind manufacturing, India has a capacity of manufacturing 10 gigawatt per year. And even for solar manufacturing, that production link incentive supports are being given by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So what are the main challenges which India will see going forward will be the challenges in renewable integration. Integrating renewables is not as straightforward when you meet the demand through conventional source of thermal. So the major challenges are intermittency and variability, grid stability and reliability, grid infrastructure upgradation. If you need when you put a renewable energy, the grid infrastructure has to be 5 times or 6 times more than the conventional source when you integrate. Energy storage is one requirement. It has been seen that batteries are not the best source presently because of its life cycle reductions. Pumped hydro has social and environmental issues. So this is one of the challenges which India will face going forward, is that not having enough energy storage to integrate large scale renewables. And then the market design and regulation. Presently, India has a bilateral, very stringent regulations where there is no open market system where you can sell and purchase renewable to a larger extent. The market liquidity in energy exchange platforms are very less. So it requires a lot of redesigning and flexibility in the market design, which can integrate more renewable. The resource availability and land use also is a big challenges. Actually, many of the tenders floated by government of India has hit a roadblock because of the non-availability of lands and the developers not getting proper lands in the right way and right time. So that's also a big challenge in renewable integration. There has to be more clear policies and regulations which has to be brought in, which will give some confidence in the developers, because this grid connected wind and solar farms are facing a lot of regulatory issues in the first time charging, which is also as a deterrent to deployment of large scale renewables. So this is one slide. I just thought it will be useful. If you just go through the slide, the wind generation, predominantly we get May, June, and July, August. The red is the where you have high wind generation availability, and you can see that there is no wind during the blue part. So this is a big challenge because renewables are not round the clock available. Same way when it comes to solar, it will be available only through the daytime, and nighttime there's absolutely zero. So this will not serve the purpose because you need power 24/7. So the storage is the solution, or it will increase the cost of integrating. So financing also is becoming, it's a big debt is being created by the distribution companies when they try to integrate large quantum of renewables because of the profiles what we get from wind and solar. So the one solution is apart from the storage is to have a lot of reserves actually, which can be divided into contingency reserve ramping. Earlier, we used to have only this contingency reserves only when normal thermal stations are integrated. When you start integrating renewables, you need regulatory reserves, following reserves, and ramping reserves. So this will add more firm capacity requirement in the system, which will not be used for power generation or dispatching or meeting the load, but they will be in standby. So this also adds to the cost of the total electricity, which will be a big burden to the distribution company. And the main problem, one more, is the flexibility. If you see that the flexibility is one aspect which hinders the development of renewable. So you can see that the thermal coal-based stations cannot give a lot of flexibility. The major flexibility presently comes from the battery storage and a little bit from vehicle to grid and pumped hydro. So these are the main two sources which can give flexibility, which is the batteries and pumped hydro. It's unless we solve this issue, I don't think so that the renewable will be easily capable of getting integrated in the mainstream. Yeah, I think. Thank you. This was quickly adjusted.
That was on time, sir. Thank you so much. You are elaborated very well about the RE integration challenges, as well as what are the solution. I mean, practical solution can be adapted. Thank you, sir. I will come to you for the round 2. Now we will go to the Bhaskaran sir theme 2. Let me introduce him. 1 minute. So I will invite Mr. Bhaskaran to talk on theme 2, the pathway to UN Energy 2025. Let me introduce Mr. Bhaskaran. Mr. Bhaskaran is the founder of Invo Systems Solutions in Singapore. He is an electronics and communication engineer with 36 years of experience in information technology, having worked with major MNCs in Asia Pacific, region. The mission of Infosystem Planet Sustain mobile app-based solution is to promote sustainability awareness, enhance green literacy, and contribute to environmental initiatives. It aims to support net zero goals by engaging students, teachers, youth, and individuals in tracking their carbon footprint and adapting responsible consumption. I will invite Sir to elaborate on his theme.
Just a caveat, I'm neither an energy expert nor an environmental expert. I am a sustainability practitioner. From that point of view, this particular presentation is made for students and general public. So let me start, right? So the UN Energy Plan of Action towards 2025 reports, this is the agenda what I'm going to speak today. Just a glimpse on what the report says and what is the action plan, it aims to, what are the goals it plans to do it, and reduction in GHG emission, what is the global campaign they're planning, and then I'll touch upon, how does a mobile app can play a role in tracking the carbon footprint. I'll quickly introduce the app and do a basic demo. I'll try to finish it within 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to start my stopwatch now, right? So our planet Earth is facing challenges due to human influence over 100 years. We need to meet the net zero goals in Singapore 2050, India 2070. You also been, this is for the student purpose, right? So you'll know what are the greenhouse gases, got carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and it also been classified as scope 1, 2, and 3. Scope 1 is very simple. When you buy petrol and diesel, use it in your vehicle, you burn the petrol. It is called scope 1. And then when you use electricity, it's called scope 2. When you travel, take public transport, called scope 3. So many, when our leaders go and, take, pledges, we will meet net zero goals. The common people do not understand what is the carbon footprint, what is the net zero. To simplify, what is the carbon footprint is the measurement of greenhouse gases produced by individual product, practice, or organization. When you take a transport, when you use electricity at home, when you use water, gas, use internet, recycling, all this contributes to carbon footprint. You're aware of all the 17 SDG 17 goals. Today's topic is more about affordable and clean energy. So the report says, achieving SDG7 in this decade of action would catalyze efforts towards a more prosperous, equitable, inclusive, and sustainable future for people and the planet. So it also aims to ensure universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services. It also aims to increase substantially the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix, and finally double the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency. So they also formed some results framework, deliverable 2025, to UN energy activity to reinforce already efforts to fulfill the UN energy pledge. So one of the 7 goals what they have, the deliverables is like scale up collective UN energy action focus areas. And they're given some focus areas, what are the deliverables? For example, 500 million more people have gained access to, electricity, double the investment, no new coal power plants, and then 30 million people will get job in renewable energy sector, things like that, right? So the second, what has been listed is catalyst stakeholder option, multi-stakeholder action, an energy compact action network established and supported by UN Energy. The third is lead a global campaign for SDG7 action. So I'll be talking about how people can participate in this particular global awareness campaign. And lead by example, greening UN energy organizations. Fifth one is convene annually a global SDG7 action forum. Sixth is, series of evidence-based policy analysis, key message for policymakers. Singapore has drafted a lot of such policies to encourage environmental friendly approaches. The seventh is track and share results, leverage the power of data visualization, right? So as per energy data, last year in 2022, somebody needs to confirm this, we consumed around 15,000 MOTE. MOTE basically means that, million tons of, oil equivalent, which is equivalent to 174,000 terawatt hour, right? So, I'm going to touch upon only the 2 areas what has been mentioned. Annual global GHG emissions to be reduced at least by 1/3 in 2025, and lead a global campaign for SDG7 action, global awareness and knowledge of SDG7 and the means to achieve it. So there is a clear and present danger. It's adversely impacting, everybody. The planet is getting affected. Our day-to-day life is getting affected. But to solve this, we need behavioral changes are required. But there's lack of incentives, engagement, people, employees, individual suppliers to be part of that. As I mentioned, as per that, 2025, we need to reduce the GSD, by 30%. But sustainability has a very few takers. All life forms except humanity practice sustainability through responsible consumption. And this is the root cause of global warming and climate change. So climate change action involves, creating awareness and responsible consumption, enabling sustainable practice through behavioral, individuals, systemic and design changes, governments and business, awareness creation, stakeholder engagement. Stakeholder doesn't mean investors and shareholders. It includes individuals, employees, students, community, and then tracking carbon footprint 1, 2, and 3, the scope 1, 2, and 3. Right? So the world needs more environmentally friendly people, active participants tracking and measuring their carbon footprint with responsible consumption. So let me take an example, we cannot, really control what the business are using it, what the governments are using it, what the industry are using it. But as a common people, we use normally electricity and then, fuel like petrol and diesel. So let's partner for life and planet Earth. Right. So ecosystem basically facilitates, creating this awareness, helping everybody track the carbon footprint, and then take, responsible action to reduce the carbon footprint. So I normally ask this question to I attend a lot of forums in Singapore. I attend, a lot of sessions being hosted by ministers and all. Do you know your carbon footprint? Many speak about sustainability, and practices, and then they talk about it, but in their personal life, they don't really practice any carbon footprint tracking, measuring, and reducing it. So unless they don't do it, it's not possible for everybody else to adopt their features and then speaking, text. So with this in view, Planet Sustain, is basically developed for the people, for the planet, to partner with everyone, collaborate with everyone for a purpose, and embrace, and then enable everybody to embrace actionable sustainability. This is basically, a very simple and easy to use app. It helps you to spread green literacy and create awareness, encouraging action to mitigate climate change induced impacts and meet net zero goals. It can help you track consumption, monitor carbon footprint, adopt sustainable habits, and then promote responsible consumption. Planet System was the only app, I believe, to my understanding, around the world, we are the only app who have been awarded the Singapore Environmental Achievement Award, Innovation Merit Award winner in 2023 August. And then this was presented by the Minister for Environment Sustainability, Madam Grace Fu. We were also part of the Go Green SD campaign, which is led by Ministry of Sustainability and Environment, MSC, last year, and will be again participating this year from June to July. Sustainability, environment focus areas is high profile activity. This normally gets inaugurated by the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Environment and the other, industry leaders in Singapore. This is the poster for last year. Sustainable program making a green impact has now become easier with the simple use of mobile app. What the app does is you basically submit your consumption data, view your monthly carbon footprint, adopt sustainable practices, exercise social responsibility, realize cost savings, and contribute to saving life and planet Earth. That's the only wealth what we can leave it for our children and future generations. The app is simple. It's highly compliant with PDP and GDPR. Business can use it, individual can use it. As a company, we don't monetize any user or carbon footprint data. App is available on Google Play and App Store. So the way, what you need to do is, when you download the app, there is a free sign up button available at the bottom. Just, click on that, fill in some details, submit it. You will get a, email to verify your email, get your membership ID and password along with the user manual in PDF format. Put in the membership ID and password, log in. You can set a PIN to log in, and then you'll get to see a home screen side menu. On that particular, this is the page what you should focus on. It will have electricity, transport, water, gas, plastics, paper, clothing, travel, which will basically result in when you consume all this, when you use all this, will result in carbon emission. On the other hand, for academic students' purpose or general public purpose, they can donate books and clothes, they can plant tree, they can recycle, they can they will do some kind of carbon offset, but that's not verified, so you cannot go and get a carbon credit unless verified by the auditor. So just let me take an example, LCD. Just click on LCD icon. You will see solar energy and electric supply. Just click on electric supply. It will show what is the kilowatt hour, what is the emission factor. The emission factor of 0.4057 is in Singapore Energy Management Authority's emission factor. In India will be different. Select a month, look at your bill, or a meter reading, put in that, unit 125, 250, you will know what is the approximate carbon emission in kg CO2e. You can look at the chart, you can track, measure, and then you can start reducing it, by adopting sustainable practices. App will not tell you what practice you should follow. You can also track your transport. If you're buying petrol and diesel, you can put in kiloliters. Sorry, put in liters. If you're taking your public transport, put in kilometers. You can track your water consumption, paper, plastic, travel, and smoking. For academic purpose, you can have, you can put in the data like, you donated books and flows, especially in colleges, universities. You can put in the photo, track the offset. You can also track the planting trees because the carbon sink gets created based on the age of the plant. Select the age of the plant, and then approximate carbon offset value for that. You can put a geotag. You can actually take a geotag photos. You can recycle. You can also look at a dashboard. Look at month on month, year on year. You can generate a report from it. If the colleges, universities, schools are engaging or employees are engaging, they can also track the top 20 sustainable practices within the school college to recognize the students. So school college units can play a crucial role in kickstarting awareness and engaging students in to combat climate change. We run a sustainability program, where we can engage students and faculty. We can track the carbon footprint. They can reduce the carbon footprint. Students will be aware of that. This will be used as part of their, environmental science courses. Things like that. So I'll just stop here because I exceeded my time limit. So together, let's build a safe, sustainable plan for current and future generations. Thank you. Sorry, I have to rush it, because I want to keep the timing. Whenever I get a longer period of time, I can discuss more in detail. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Especially, you said one point, each small step lead to the huge impact. That is actually very valuable one. Secondly, that app, that is, you exactly, catch the young minds thing. They are very comfortable with apps nowadays, and it is very simple to use also. Thank you, sir. I will come back to you during the question session. Now, I will invite Mr. P.S. Kumar to talk on theme 3, Planet versus Plastics, Energy's Role Towards Earth Day 2024. Let me introduce Dr. P.S. Kumar. It's a very huge profile, but still, for the time purpose, we are just reducing a little profile, only main points. Dr. P.S. Kumar has master's degree both in engineering and management and further qualified doctorate in business administration. He has over 36 years of corporate expertise. He worked in leading companies like Lawson and Tubro, Flat Industrial, CNH, etc. in major critical management senior positions. He has expert knowledge in plastics processing, marketing, new product development, strategy formation, scientific planning, and getting things done from the associates through collaboration and knowledge transfer NLP methods. Currently, he is a co-founder and executive director of Prithvi Grow Care, an engineering, management, and technology consulting firm. PGC helps both MSMEs and large organizations to increase their profitability and global competitiveness through systems creation for them and guide and support them in training and development to their executives. PGC has combined business expertise over 700 plus years, 32 collaboration with average expertise of 23 plus years. Sir, stage is yours. You can take the stage.
Sir, please
Sir,
unmute yourself.
Muted, sir.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for Dr. Ramesh and Dr. Anuradha, Dr. Preeta. My slide has been transferred to Dr. Anuradha. Should I have to use my slide, or you are going to show my slides? Then you make me as a co-host. Then only I can share my screen.
Is it, sir?
Yeah.
Niranjan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, co-host for Kumar sir, man. Or you will better you can co-host. Sir will do. That is best. Kumar sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Just a minute. Post. Yeah, it's made, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, sir.
Just a moment, friends. I just kept it open. I just want to ensure that. Okay. Share the screen. Go ahead for this. Here you go. Are you able to see my screen clearly? Am I audible now?
Sir, you're audible and your screen is also clearly visible, sir.
Thank you. So good evening once again. I'm going to talk on very important topic on planet versus plastics. So this is very much needed nowadays. The reason is like our Secretary General said, the world cannot afford delays, indecision, or off measures, because this is how most of the job we are doing it. We need to work immediately on this very critical, which whatever I am showing you may shock you. Somebody may lose sleep also, but still I have to tell the truth. Okay. Just see this slide for maybe 10 to 15 seconds. You cannot live without any of this component. You just take one example, automobile if you take it. If you take automobile, if you remove all the plastic components in the automobile and convert it into a suitable alternative material, your consumption will double. That means your mileage will come down by half. Assuming that you are getting around 12 kilometers per liter of diesel petrol, by changing plastics into some other component, it is going to be 6 liters, 6 kilometers. Similarly, you see the most of the pouches, containers, and you can see medical disposables. So look around in a house, how many appliances, starting from TV, air conditioners, washing machine, grinder, mixers, blender, hand dryer, anything you name, everything comes into that. And nowadays it is much more coming into the plastic furniture because it is going to be cheap. Why this has such an impact on our life? First thing, if you see it, in 2022, that means we have the data for that. Our consumption is 470 million tons per annum. Every year we consume 470 million tons per annum. And it was predicted and projected very conservative figures. I am not talking the optimistic. I am taking a conservative figure. It is going to be 1,000 million tons per annum. That means you see in last 25 years, we have consumed 56% of the whatever we have produced so far. Okay, I'm going to talk about you. We are approximately 34 billion tons of plastics we have produced so far from the after Second World War. Okay, if you see it, the world population itself, I just took what is the current population? It is 8.1 billion. Current population of the entire world. Whereas plastics we have produced this is 8.3 billion tons we have produced already. And more important thing is we are recycling maximum, I am not saying minimum, maximum only 9% of the plastic components we are recycling. It's called incineration. That means recycling, which will be going into the chemical treatment and burning it, whatever it may be, they will be doing it. That's only around 12%. Remaining 79% ends up in landfill or get into the environment through ocean or whatever it may be. So if you see it, the plastic production in 1950, it was only around 2 million tons. Whereas in 2080, that means it is 380. Now it is 470 million tons. And 100 years after 1950, it is going to be 1,000 million tons. This phenomenal growth, why it is happening in plastics? Because plastic is a very good material with respect to wear resistance, very good corrosion resistance, very good what do you call, like very good moldability. That means any component, any shape, any design can be produced with the plastics. And by adding alloys, and that means polymer alloys, we can get into the different combination, different structural forms also. But finally, what happens to all of us is the problem of filling it in the land or environment is not the solution. That's the reason we want to talk about plastics versus planet. So just imagine how much amount of air pollution plastics burning takes. Approximately 10 to 13% on the total air pollution. So this needs to be drastically reduced. Otherwise, it is going to create a huge impact on the air. Coming to the land pollution, I already told you, we have exceeded 300 million metric tons before recycling was considered, because it is going as a landfill. We are not working on anything else. And we talk about green energy. Sorry to say, but in green energy, in windmill, 60% of is the plastic components. And if you take solar, it's approximately around 10% of it is plastic component, because it's the durability, because its ability to withstand the flexibility and easy to produce and cost effectiveness, most important. So here we need to work on it. The problem is, if you take it in a windmill, the blades completely made out of FRP, which is thermoset, which is very difficult to reprocess or very expensive to reprocess. So what will happen is end up in the landfill, again polluting the atmosphere. Like ABS and some other material which is used in solar can be recycled. So I am giving you some suggestions. Before going into the suggestions, now we must be knowing about what is happening in the microplastics. What is microplastics? The plastic component, it breaks down into millions of pieces in usage or in the environment. It can be on the UV also. But those things, how it creates problem for you, that means that stays in the atmosphere. That means it stays in the air. You may inhale. You may inhale. That means there is a possibility every human being will be inhaling microplastics. And you will consume. I'm repeating, you will consume without your knowledge. Because microplastics size is very small, not like macro or it's a meso. It is a very, very small. It's very difficult for you to do it. Then what you just take, what are the possibilities of microplastics? I told you already, even you are using in the artificial ground. That means turf, what we talk, like football matches or cricket ground or something we are putting out like gardens and all, no? Abrasiveness, it will create a microplastics. Car tires, automobile. You've seen what is the population of automobile, how it is increasing. Car tires rubbing on the road creates microplastics. All these skin washed into the things, it goes into the air, it goes into the sea. And it was predicted that by 2050, you will have weight of the fish and weight of the plastic, if you measure it, plastics will be more in our, what do you call, our ocean. So this is so dangerous. So microplastics is going to be a huge player. We need to control that. Second thing is nanoplastics, much more difficult. Which the size is less than 1 meter. That means that nanometer means it's very, very small. You cannot see it in your eyes. Microplastic itself, you cannot see it in your naked eye. Nanoplastic is much more smaller than this. It goes into the human body. It goes into the human body without your knowledge, because many of people are like, if you stop, just imagine that if you stop consuming single-use plastics now, or if you stop using single-use plastic, there is a possibility. But many times we are using single-use plastics and say that, okay, it is a polypropylene, nothing will happen. It is inert. Of course, it is inert. But what happened, that nanoplastics and microplastics are bound to happen in this abrasion, and that goes into your body. That is going to be a major problem for you. So it may have a lot of problems will be there, which I'm going to discuss later. And now, since the time is less, I'm just giving a touch up on this, and I'll be happy to answer to any of the questions for that. And most important thing is people are getting misused because of the traders or unethical businessmen. People say that bioplastics is very good and we can use bioplastics. And people say that by using bioplastics, and this bioplastics is going to be completely biodegradable. For this, I have put this graph. There is you take bio-based or fossil-based, 4 axes. Like another one is non-biodegradable, biodegradable. All bio-based polymers or plastics are not biodegradable. You can see where the green and blue is merging. That is bio-based and biodegradable. Whereas where the green is alone is there, which is non-degradable. Many times we see that bio-based PE or fossil-based PE is also available. Bio-based PE is also available. So we think that it is bioplastic. It is not bioplastics. It is bio-based bioplastic, okay, which is completely non-biodegradable. Similarly, if you take biodegradable, which is bio-based, only it will be possible. Whereas if you see it over here, fossil-based, here also some things are there. Biodegradable, but it is not bio-based. Bio-based means it is not from the natural resources. So it is fossil-based. So this confusion, like in India, many people do not aware of this. Like you take example, Maharashtra banned bioplastics, whereas Tamil Nadu allows bioplastics. And we buy a lot of bioplastic bags in the grocery shop, and we think that we are doing protecting environment. Actually, that is not a bioplastic or bio-based bioplastics. It is fossil-based and non-biodegradable plastics. But people make use of the loopholes in the business or loopholes in the law, and they keep selling it. Because what is the reason if you say it? No, since we don't have much time, I am not talking more. Our consumption, it will 470 million tons, no? That is our consumption. And bioplastics production capacity is only 2 million tons. And 2 million tons out of 470 million tons, which is approximately around 0.0042%. That means what? It is not affordable by you and me, but we are getting bioplastics, or people are selling bioplastic bags on the grocery store, and free of cost. Definitely nobody is going to service you. So, but this problem is plastic came into the picture because it's very sheer resistance and ability to handle. Like 1 liter bottle or 1 liter water, no other material other than plastic, which is around 18 grams, can comfortably hold 1 liter bottle, which is not possible by any other material in the world. So the problem is not with the plastics. The problem is with humans. We dispose properly. If we dispose properly, there is a possibility we can reduce it. So Union has announced that we need to get into this way of working. First is reduce the problem. That means reduce the usage of plastics. That means if you are ordering on Zomato or Swiggy, stop doing it. Go and have a food at a restaurant. Because when you are ordering Zomato and Swiggy, you get the food in the packed containers. The packed containers, once again, it's one-time plastic. That means single-use plastic, which is not properly disposed, which is not properly recycled. I already told you only 8% is getting recycled. Balance goes to the landfill. So now onwards, I request the people who are listening to this to stop ordering on Zomato and Swiggy and go to the restaurant and eat it in the restaurant, so that you can reduce first reduce the usage of plastics. Second one is reuse. Reuse is again, the problem is many times we buy a plastic bag and throw it out in the market, because it is 70 micron, 75 micron. Now government of India is going to introduce a law where 120 micron should be the minimum thickness of the bag. Otherwise, when you have 120 microns, what is the purpose of keeping 120 microns or 125 microns? Is only to ensure that rat pickers will pick it up if you throw it up, because they will make money out. Some of you must know about it. Earlier days, some 25 years before, our people started buying plastic covers of milk packets. But now it is not happening. Why? Because the thickness has reduced and the cost is come down. So it is very difficult. Third one is recycle. Recycle is a big problem because I told you already, 12% is only possible because if you take a PET bottle will be PET, cap will be again with HDPE or LDPE or some other material because of different processing reasons. So segregating will be difficult. And if you take multi-layer pouches, multi-layer things, different materials are coming in. So recycling is very difficult. It is called as mixed plastics in plastic industry. That will go for either for burning it or it go for landfill, which is going to be problem. So the third thing what suggested by UN was is we should start rethinking. We should start find out what is the alternate material, how we can proposally use this. Otherwise, it is going to have a havoc for all of us. So first, if you do this way, what will happen? If you reduce usage of plastics, 30% of your pollution you are able to control. Okay, so we call it as a circular economy. Instead of linear economy, we are shifting the market to the circular. So what happens is first we are trying to say that reduce the usage of plastic, which reduces 30% instead of using business as usual. Okay, and second, the plastic consumption will come down. Second thing will be substitute with the other material like paper, coated paper, or compositable, whatever it may be. Another 17% we can reduce it. And 85% if you use it, that means reuse it, recycle it. That means mechanical recycling, chemical recycling, all these things is a lot of things, but you need to have a sorting out problems, you need to have proper disposal systems, all these things. Then you can able to reduce 20%. Then if you know how to dispose it properly, you are able to reduce another 23%. So if you are doing this, what will happen is you are able to substantially reduce your total production of plastics. So what is the thing? If you take an example, automobile for example, instance, why we need to have a car bumpers, not with metal, it is with the plastic. But why we need to have a virgin plastic? Because of the cycle time, because of the production speed, all these things. By going for a regrind or reprocessed material, the surface finish may be different, or it has to take longer time for production. Fine, it's okay. But if you do with it, anyway, you're going to do the painting with that. Like I just recently saw that one big company, I don't want to name the company, has introduced a circular up to May 20th. People should not iron their clothes when they're coming to office on Monday. I'm repeating it. People should not iron their clothes to come to office on Monday. Why it is? Because every iron when you are doing it on a shirt or a trouser or a material, any whatever you are wearing it, they are saying that 200 milligrams of carbon emission you are creating it. So that company was a chairman was a lady. She has already imposed that and already being implemented. And last 20 days, the people are using it up to May 20th or something. So that carbon emission is also another way we take a stand. We need to work on this reducing usage of plastics and substitute with alternative material. Many times here also the sales is that many times we think that paper cup. It is not a paper cup. It is paper cup. It's a thin layer of plastic, which is very mixed plastics. So you don't think that it is a paper cup. Stop using paper cups. You don't use any paper cup. You take coffee or a tea in a glass or on a mud cup. Okay. So that is how it is going to happen. Third thing is you are going to have it on the cycle. Like, if you are going to recycle it, how you are going to do the recycle of. What are the chemical concentration? It is complicated. It's very, very easy to say, but complicated, very expensive. People, if you use the recycled plastics, the cost will be substantially high. People should understand that and they should ready to pay for it. They don't want to pay for it. They want a cheaper material, and then we keep on increasing plastics only. So we need to work on understand it and educate the people. And people should voluntarily start using regrind or recycled material and ready to pay the extra price. Okay, and start looking out for the different material. So that is what you are saying it. And for all these things, policy of government and legislative changes is must. Without that, it is very difficult. So again, you see it over here. So I'll be happy to answer to any of your questions in the second session or second half whenever Dr. Anuradha is permitting me. Thank you and we'll have a wonderful session. Thank you.
Sir, it is a wonderful presentation. Whenever, there is a plastic ban in India, the first resistance came from the housewives of Indian women. So they are very much protective of this plastic covers, dabbas, all these things. So you have given, you said the usage of plastics it is inevitable, but how to use it responsibly? Sir, I will come back to you during the question session. Now I will invite Dr. Deepak Vaikar to talk on the theme 4, COP 2030 Sustainable Energy Action Plan. Let me introduce Dr. Deepak Vaikar. His profile also very big. Whatever possible, I will put it forward. Dr. Deepak L. Vaikar, member of IEEE Thames Regional Leaders Subcommittee, Chair, IEEE Education Society, Singapore, and ex-managing partner of Edu Energy Singapore, has been involved in education, training, research, and management fields for more than 3 decades. He started his professional career as Assistant Director at the National Power Engineers Training Institute in India after his post-graduation from the Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University in India. Dr. Vaikar has been associated with Singapore's Certified Energy Managers Program for more than a decade. He has also been an advisory committee member of Indo-Universal Center for Engineering Education. He has served as editor and reviewer for many conferences and journals. His research interests include sustainable energy development, rethinking teaching, learning and academic leadership, reinventing and transforming tertiary education, smart model for talent and leadership development, innovative project design and management, smart and microgrid. Sir, the stage is yours, sir. You can start your presentations. I welcome you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Anuradha,
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
kind introduction. And thank you, President Ramesh, Dr. Ramesh, making this happen. What you call is preview of the main conference or ENERGATHON coming on 18th of May. The theme I'm going to touch is on the sustainable energy systems. And I'm thankful that our previous speakers have made my job much easier now, so I do not have to say something which has already been said. And I would like to usually start my presentation by taking the blessing of Goddess Saraswati. So Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kamrupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Now this is for the international audiences. We take the blessing of Goddess Saraswati, who has considered in our Hindu culture as a seat of knowledge. And this is confidence about sharing about the knowledge. Therefore, I am invoking the blessing of Goddess Saraswati, not only for my presentation, but for this preview, as well as the final energy on 18th May. This is predominantly for President Ramesh and Professor Anuradha. That introduction has been done. Sustainable development dilemma thing we heard recently from Dr. P.S. Kumar and our other colleagues, Krishnan, as well as our first speaker, Anil. So that dilemma is going to be there. Then how the sustainable energy systems can play a role into that? What are challenges and opportunities? And finally, we'll have some summary and conclusions in this short presentation. Okay. Now, I'm asking this question, and you can put in chat box, those who are connected on Zoom, or you can put in the comments if you're on the Facebook or YouTube. Okay. Considering our quest for modern luxurious lifestyle. Okay. considering our quest for modern, luxurious lifestyle. There is one part I'm mentioning. Second, geopolitical conflict. Okay, geopolitical conflicts, rising population, and our addiction to oil and plastic. You can see also. Okay, we are, as I mentioned by one of the speakers, more than 8 billion on the earth. We have become oilholics. All of us want fantastic lifestyle, try to follow Americans and Europeans. They say you have got a term to develop, now it is our turn to develop. And those who have got small car, they want a bigger car, they want a limousine, they got helicopters, they want to travel like presidents and prime ministers and chief ministers, and private jets for the CEOs of various multinational and big companies, and some of them have got their own private jets. We know, okay, whatever we want to do, there was a crisis, Russia-Ukraine war. We thought we came out of pandemic, and there was a Russia-Ukraine war which has disrupted our system again, energy system. And now we have got Middle East crisis again. Considering this development, is there a scope for hope? Okay. Is there scope for hope? You can put in chat box. Okay. Some of them just, okay, don't just say for sake of, oh, we are, okay, I will talk about that later on. Yeah, hope, we should be optimistic. That is different part. Now this is the reality happening. Okay, happening. You like it or not. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's okay. The reason being, I put it nicely, okay, दुनिया 3 चीजों से चलती है. Okay, little bit, okay, coming from India, I do say, and translated for our international audience, world moves on 3 things. Okay, 3 things. You might think about it. If you want to put in chat box, you can, or you can put in your comments. 3 things. Okay, and that is Urja, or Urja. Energy, and energy. Yes, some of you might be saying, what is it I'm talking about? Okay, let me mention about it. Okay, whatever I say, I will mention about it. Okay. Now there have been many studies, United Nations, IEA, World Energy Council, International Energy Federation, GNV, and you just name it. Okay, everybody is doing some mathematical modeling and trying to project what is going to happen. And one of them I'm just putting here. Okay, so first goal, they say, first goal is how we can cut down, okay, fossil fuel energy usage from 85 to 75% by 2030 to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. This is one of the targets, okay, they want to do it. And it can vary, okay, each country has got different level. Some can do more, some can do less, some can do nothing, okay. And not only that, don't stop at there. They say, if you want to achieve whatever mentioned by my previous speakers, that 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees rise in temperature, contain that, then our energy consumption, they say, of the fossil energy should reduce from 75% to 50% by 2050. Okay. Though some of them are saying 2050 we will achieve net zero, we are talking about globally. Some of them might achieve, others will have some more time. So as a result, what is going to happen is, whether we like it or not, even by 2050, we'll be using fossil fuel in a reduced percentage. Coal, oil, and natural gas, and the percentage of renewables and other will come up. But remember also, at the same time, by 2030, by 2050, because we are saying that we have to go for our digitization, electrifications, and we want growth, we want jobs to be created globally, locally, whatever it is, then our energy consumption is going to go up, not less. If his energy consumption is going to go up, whatever figure you put by 2030, we are going to add 50 gigawatt, whatever, 500 gigawatt, but it will be still small, certain percentage of total energy consumption globally. So that is a major problem. So our energy demand is going to go up unless we do something about it. We can keep on adding renewables and we can keep on suffering about it. And because we are going to use fossil fuels, we like it or not, at present, almost many countries are using, which are dominant, 70%, 60%, 50%. Major impact of that, along with the industries pollution, other pollution, our air pollution. Okay? And world's most 100 vulnerable cities are in Asia. Majority are in developing countries like India, China, and Indonesia, and other. And this is affecting our quality of air. Okay, and there is a directly effect on our health. That is one part. Okay. Second, we also need water, and you might be reading those reports that water tables are going down, fresh water sources are going down, or water freshwater sources are getting contaminated because of the industrial pollution and other pollution. So we need a good quality of water. Yes, energy is required for that purpose. And most importantly, if you want to we faced during this one pandemic, okay, if you want to face pandemic and any other diseases effectively, we need better immune system, we need a good quality of food. Okay, and again, energy is important component here, nutritious, including industries also, they use it, okay? Many devices we use it. So energy consumption is going to go up, not down, because 8 billion people become 10 billion people. Think about that. So we are at the basics again, foundation. How to provide clean air, clean water, clean and nutritious food. That is one of the major challenge we have. Major challenge. Yes, what it means is now, rightly mentioned by our previous speakers, is a self-governance first. Okay, first self-governance first. I will come to other governance later on. Clean self-governance. Okay, clean self-governance. If the air outside is polluted, then I want to protect myself. In my house, I can install air purifiers and such devices that will reduce the impact on myself and my family. All of us are very much used to, whenever we go out, we carry water bottle, mineral water bottle, so that we feel that the quality is better. But just now our friend has said, it may not be that better. And if you're not able to take care of that, then we might have to take some actions. For our food, we need to carry nutritious food. If you keep on ordering for all those who are taking it, you're not going to get a nutritious food, in addition to the carbon footprint mentioned by our speakers earlier. And pollution. Nutritious food has to come from you, from your home. Otherwise, it will not be. And obviously, our farms needs to use those things such that they provide it less pesticide and everything. Therefore, we might say, okay, the mask, okay, the mask, the famous one, we had to use the high-tech mask. And if we are not able to get the good quality of air outside, like our plastic bottles, believe me, okay, in few years' times, we may have to carry oxygen bottle with us. That is going to be impact if we don't take actions. And that is what the clean energy has a pivotal role. Clean energy has a pivotal role. Okay, SDG goal 7. Very important role. And if you like it or not, air, water, and food, they are the basic components of energy. And as a result, we, the people, are the energy. We are the energy. But our energy depends on what we take, what we eat, and what we consume. Then question arises, what is your action plan? Yes, nice to listen, fantastic marathon, that's okay, 24 hours, break this record, that record. So what? What is it we are going to do? Okay. And President Ramesh, Dr. Ramesh has told me that share with them, yes, these conferences, seminars, symposiums have a role to play, because first thing first, physical infrastructure is easy to change. You can provide that, but it will be tough to maintain it, tough to finance it. Most important change we need is our mindset, which is one of the toughest one. Okay? And I'm happy to share with you that around 2022 December, at the Egypt conference by IEEE, TEMS, we call it Technology, Energy, Engineering and Management Society. They invited me, and I prepared a concept paper, and as a result, it became one of the global symposium, first symposium by IEEE Global Symposium, along with the COP28 in Dubai, 7th and 8th December 23. And we did provide some inputs. Our president, I will share with you soon, the president of the university, who was the chair, he was able to speak at the COP29, COP28 green and blue zones. We were in the green zones. And I'm happy to share with you that some of our recommendations have been gone there. And as a result, we have been again invited by Dubai to organize this symposium, Green Tech, Sustainability and Net Zero Policies and Practices, on 22nd and 23rd of November 2024 in Dubai, alongside COP29, which is happening in Azerbaijan. Okay. Yes, Dr. Issa Bastaki, who is now president of University of Dubai, he was the chair last time, and he's going to be chair. I have been invited as a co-chair, and we have got the dynamic team coming from that Middle East and other parts. And this symposium is again happening in November, last week of November in Dubai. So with this, whatever I mentioned, if we have one is to promote, and that is why we need many such seminars, webinars, interactions, discussion, debate, because that will help in the long run to change our mindset. And once we change our mindset, it is completely different. Till that time, we need the policies and frameworks and rules and regulations and financing and other things. But once the mindset is set, then job is easy. So is there scope for hope? Or a pipe dream? Put in chat box, put in your YouTube comments. We would like to know about it. Yes, that is where comes the goal number 7, SDG goal number 7, affordable and clean energy. I know there are many challenges. Renewable energy, as shared by one of our speakers, is not easy to integrate. And then as a result, you need to install much more. Okay, maybe 7 times. Okay, you may have to install 7 times what you consume, because Though installer capacity is 50%, you are using only 15%, it means almost 7 times. Okay, 7 times you have to install. And some of you may recall it, but these were the pledges by top leaders. It's good they give pledges, and some of them say, oh, they just pledge but don't take action. It's not true nowadays. They have to present their plan. So 2029, they have to present this plan. What is it they have done? One, about doubling energy efficiency. What is their plan? How much they have achieved? According to various studies, there is scope to achieve energy efficiency, which can be first step, which will reduce, as I mentioned, unless we reduce our consumption, adding renewables, and renewables is not going to help, because we will be needing various materials and space which will add to our greenhouse gases. Tripling of renewables, yes, needed. We can continue, because whatever we do, still triple, it will be 75% of the total. Transiting away from fossil fuels. This is one of the toughest one. They had haggling, there were protests. There were protests, they said no more fossil fuels, but finally it happened in Dubai, in Middle East. It was tough for them, but they accepted the language, which is transiting away from fossil fuels, which is one of the toughest part, because we want 24/7 reliable electricity. So how we do it? We need to have an appropriate mix. Yes, nuclear cannot be also ruled out in such situation. And that is what are the future possibilities. That is COP30. Okay, 29, definitely we are going to ask these questions, and they might again try for phasing out fossil fuels, which is going to be toughest one. I'll be happy to answer those questions in details because of limited time. Thank you very much, Professor Ramesh, Professor Anuradha, and my esteemed members of panel, giving me opportunity to share with you some of my thoughts. Have a wonderful pre-ENERGATHON summit.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. When I was listening to your presentation, I was thinking about Nikola Tesla's quote. If you want to know about the secrets of universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So you have connected energy with our basic requirements like food, water, everything. It's a very, very interesting deliverance. Thank you. I will come to you for a question session later. Now, we are going to the next topic, next theme. I will invite Dr. Lovelyn Gaur to talk on theme 1, COP29, Energy Dependent Climate Protection. It's a very, very interesting and very different perception towards that energy problem. So let me let me introduce Dr. Lovelyn Gaur. Lovelyn Gaur is currently working as an adjunct professor with Taylor's University, Malaysia, and University of South Pacific, Fiji, an academic consultant with Australian School of Graduate Studies. Before moving to USA, she was working as professor with Amity University, India. She has supervised several PhD scholars, postgraduate students, mainly in artificial intelligence and data analytics for business and healthcare. Under her guidance, the AI Data Analysts Research Cluster has published extensively in high impact factor journals and has established extensive research collaboration globally with several renowned professionals. She is a senior IEEE member and series editor with CRC and Willy. She has high indexed publication in SEI, ABDC, WOS, Scopus, and has several patents, copyrights on her account. Edited, authored many research books published by world-class publishers. Ma'am, you can take over the stage, ma'am. You can present your thing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anuradha, and everyone whosoever has present and listening to this very beautiful talks. My co-panelists have already covered lot many things which is related to energy sector. My area is a little bit technology oriented, and here we are going to talk about energy, and I am going to associate technology with it. So the topic which I am going to talk is green AI. AI is a buzzword nowadays, so definitely before we also deteriorate this technology, or we should know how to use sustainable AI. So how AI can help us in achieving net zero emission, which is also our theme 1 and COP 29. So here we are going to talk about total carbon removal with the help of a technology that is AI, and green AI is my agenda for this conference. So in this theme, we are going to talk about, we know that which particular sector is contributing the most carbon emission, and that is the fossil fuel. Already my co-panelists have already talked a lot about it. So we know already that this particular fossil fuel sector is most polluting the world. Despite this kind of knowledge, emission is still increasing. Even if we see the COVID pandemic, that is, it is grown by 1% in 2022 and reached to 40.5 gigaton of CO2. So now, because I am representing over here USA, I am taking a particular trend which happened recently, and this is one data which I have taken from Monthly Energy Review, March 2024. If you see over here, there is a notable trend and a positive side. So that is why it is, I'm taking it that we are talking about energy related CO2 emission. And here, if we see this particular report, there is a little bit reduction, right? So here you can see from 22, then, in 23, there is a reduction. And why it has happened? Because there is some changes in the policy, and this particular, what kind of policy changes that US has already implemented, and they have seen some kind of a positive results. So here you can see the reduction was caused largely by reduced coal-fired electricity generation, as natural gas and solar power made up a large portion of the generation mix. So what they have done, they have changed that generation mix from coal to the highest carbon intensity, which we have already seen. That is the reason this CO2 emission is actually reduced. Now you can see, apart from that, they have also saying that most of this decrease occurred in the electric power sector with a smaller reduction. That means residential and commercial sector is also helping, but due to some weather condition, because condition was very good. Before starting, I remember that Dr. Ramesh was saying that in Tamil Nadu, in South India, the energy consumption is high because of the temperature. So if weather conditions are good, then of course the consumption is less. This is what exactly here we can see in the US. Little bit environment weather was good. That was the also reason which contributed toward the reduction. So talking about the positive side, now let us move ahead. And now I am going to talk about AI. So now AI is artificial intelligence techniques, according to World Economic Forum, that can lead us to net zero. If data quality, definitely issues are always there. But yes, what issue we are talking about? Data quality biasness, data quality issue is there, which can be improved, right? Apart from that, we are also going to talk about the top 10 emission reduction technologies trend, which is going in 2023. Now, here you can see 1680 startups. I still remember there are so many startups which is going around green AI, which they are, the main theme is only AI, how AI can be used for sustainability. Now here we are showing you few startups who have already used some kind of technology. So you can see the carbon offsetting is there. AI is definitely mentioned here. This is by AIS, then Gaia. They are using it, electrification, green hydrogen, carbon capture utilization and storage, energy efficient integration, big data, waste valorization, bio-based fuels and polymer, and emission monitoring. So these are the startups, and very, very recent startups. We are talking March 2023. This is a startup Insight, which they are saying that how they are utilizing technology for emission reduction. So that means another very positive aspect of AI, where we can see that AI is helping us in achieving those themes or COP 29 themes, which we really want to achieve by 2050. Now, this is, because I'm a researcher, I'm an academician, my major role is to create some kind of, awareness. So this is one paper where we have already discussed, we have developed a theory, which is system of system theory, and how this system of system theory is helping us in, carbon reduction. And if it is being implemented, it's already Scopus and a very high impact factor journal, which is an ecological informatics, where we have already published this paper. Now, you can go and visit and check this paper also. It is, available in the Scopus. Now, again, we are talking about here in this paper also, we have mentioned a lot of strategies, theories by which AI can help us in attaining these carbon emission. So one application here we can see AI optimized transportations, right? Route, of course. So if, right route is provided to the drivers, efficient routing mechanism, that is also a part of our management science. We normally teach all these things in our engineering courses as well as in our management courses, that how that by efficient route management we can reduce the emission. Apart from that, AI driven thermostat adjustment, that is also a necessity. If you see, by 2011 exemplified by the Google Nest thermostat. So if these kind of adjustments can be implemented, definitely, even with the help in the residential sectors, in big companies infrastructure, we can implement, and we can reduce a lot of carbon footprints. Apart from that, advanced data collection technologies. Now, this is also very important. Robotics is coming up, sensors, IoT, we are talking about Internet of Things. There are a lot of emerging technologies. We are talking about drones and other technologies. They are helping us in data collection and analysis of this. Now, there is a report. They are saying the most of the carbon emission is actually occurring during the interpretation. It is not because data collection or model. So most of the time is going in the interpretation. Now generative AI is there, your chat GPT, these huge models actually during interpretations they are generating huge amount of carbon itself. So I'm going to talk about that, how AI is a double sword, kind of a double-edged sword. Now, another important area where we should see that a predictive maintenance using AI. So AI-driven predictive maintenance can help us in downtime, the energy production, as well as we can ultimately reduce our carbon footprint. So AI can be implemented in various sectors, various areas, where whatever areas we have, till now in the different themes we have monitored. Definitely AI can be very helpful if properly utilized in a sustainable manner. Now, this is one, decarbonization. We already have discussed a lot about the, sectors which are actually contributing towards the, this carbon emission. So what are the decarbonization efforts? How we can...
Niranjan, have a look on that and remove the participant. Hope it is clear, ma'am. You can continue, lovely ma'am.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I was talking about the decarbonization efforts, that how, companies can apply a lot of, areas or the technologies by which we can do the decarbonization. So this is one infographic which is showing you different industries. And these are the topmost industries who are actually contributing a lot towards the carbon emission. So if we see the power generation, definitely we have a different mechanism by which we can control. You can see that how battery storage, sir was talking about battery storage, and how with the help of solar powers, wind powers, yes, continuity is required. PS sir was also talking about that, how we will going to store them. That is the only agenda we should focus upon, otherwise energy is already there. Second important area is the waste management. So waste, how we can use these waste. We are talking about plastics. That particular waste can help us in generating the energy. So the by these these mechanisms we can definitely going to attain. Third important thing is the transportations, then effective mechanisms, mass transit, fuel efficiency, proper this zero emission kind of vehicles are being utilized. Then buildings, new buildings are being implemented, which are again taking care of these carbon footprints. Then agriculture, land and use, where we are talking about planting tree, reducing meat and dairy intake. Then we are talking about farmer incentives, as well as we are talking about reduction of the methane, which is in existed or actually eliminated by these kettles. Now, apart from that, all these things can be utilized, or there are software-based initiatives. They have developed an emission tracking platform. So we can have those apps. We can track these utilization using satellite imagery and machine data analysis. That is one way we can reduce or help in decarbonization. Yes. So what other ways AI is helping us? You can see AI is helping us in changing or assessing the icebergs at the pace 10,000 times much better, swifter than what a human is able to do. Then with the help of satellite imagery or ecological expertise, we are also finding out the deforestations. Then AI is also helping in Africa, that is again to aid the communities which are vulnerable to the climate change. Then again, you can see how AI is helping us in efficient waste management. These are the all startups are being there, which are helping us in identification of different waste, and then the proper mechanism of tackling it. Then apart from that, AI powered objection detection facilities are also created to detect the ocean litter, which is in the remote area especially. And then comes your disaster management and the climate disasters, where we have seen that this is a company, Supremo, which is based in Sao Paulo, Brazil, who are actually employing AI to forecast these kind of occurrences at the different location. Now, talking about the positive side, there is also a negative side. So dark side, I must tell you that AI is also acting as a double-edged sword. How? Till now, I was talking that how AI is helping in the reduction of the carbon emission. Now we are talking that AI in itself is also, the contributor toward this carbon emission. So these are some, articles. If you go, you will going to see that yes, AI growing carbon footprint with ChatGPT, large language models. All these language models are actually creating. Though, if we talk about as compared to fossil fuel or the industry waste, till now AI is not contributing that much. But yes, definitely in coming years, it will become a problem. So how we will going to use AI? Necessary evil, AI is necessary, everyone is learning about necessary, but how to use it sustainably. So this is our intake. This is one thing you need to learn, that deep learning models everywhere, you don't need deep learning. So you go for machine learning, make some compact smaller models, go for smaller codings. Then alternate deployment strategies are required. Federated learning, I'm very sure edge computing, federated learning, these are the new topics. All those who are pursuing AI, they know all these things. So again, people are moving toward federated learning. Then compact generative AI models are required. Apart from that, rather than going with the multi-step interactions, we need to make a compact interactions. Then there is also a niche task for niche specialized models for niche tasks that also sometimes create more computational needs, and that also required to be reduced. So steps needs to be reduced. We need to make it compact. Then we need specialized processors which offer energy efficient computation, and then quantum computing is the answer that is going to actually help or accelerate complex calculation in generative AI models. It will going to use minimal energy as compared to the traditional model. So this is the few takeaways how AI can be used sustainably. And yes, definitely every person can play a role in the fight against climate change. There is no planet B. And this is Dr. Loveleen, and I have started as an academician. My work is to create awareness. I have started my YouTube channel, and this is how you people can connect to me. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, that is very, very refreshing. We keep on learning about energy, energy, energy. Then suddenly that AI is coming. Then we are very happy. Then all of a sudden you're talking about sustainable AI. Again, that also is going to create a footprint, a carbon footprint, and we have to go for green AI. So that's a very, very interesting topic, especially in India. Everyone is going for AIDS. I am a professor in my college. The first preference by the students and parents are AA. So we are going to include sustain. Yes, ma'am. That's a very, very interesting topic. I'll come to you for the question session later, ma'am. Now we come to the sixth topic, sixth theme, last theme for the round one. I will invite Mr. Praveen Tomar to talk on theme 6, advancing 17 SDGs through energy triangle. Before that, let me introduce Mr. Praveen Tomar. Praveen Tomar is a passionate civil servant, researcher, and technology enthusiast. He has over 20 years of experience in process consulting, IT transformation, and automation with Six Sigma Black Belt certification and multiple publications on low-code digital automation. As a head of process digitization of GEM, he led a team of talented professionals who are passionate about enhancing public service delivery and outcomes by harnessing the power of data and automation while respecting human dignity and values. In his previous roles, he has successfully led and executed multiple digital transformation and automation programs for government, departments, and Global Investment Bank using a cloud-first approach, low-code platforms, and data-driven insights. He has also provided expert advisory and consulting support to senior stakeholders, helping them formulate and implement effective digital strategies and efficiency improvement initiatives. Through his work, he contributed to OFGEM vision of building a better data ecosystem for the UK energy sector. Sir, I welcome you, sir. The stage is yours. You can take over.
Thanks. Good afternoon, good morning, and good late evening in India. I'm Praveen Tomar. I'm based in London, United Kingdom. And first of all, I would like to say thanks to Professor Anuradha, Professor Ramesh, Professor Preeta, and entire IG team for providing me this opportunity to share my ideas, insights, and my learning in the energy sector. So what I'll do, I'll start sharing my screen. Give me a moment, please. So I've just started sharing mine, and let me know once you can see. Yeah, so Professor Anuradha, can you see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so my
we could see your
co-panelist
screen as well as your audible also, sir.
Brilliant. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, so yeah, it's a luckily we have a very good warm weather in London. Generally, it's not a good time to have a good weather, but yeah, today we have a good broad sunlight and warm weather here. So let's start with, I mean, my co-panelist and previous speaker has covered a lot about energy and SDG goals and what are the key challenges we are facing. And specifically, I would like to say thanks to the Mr. Bhaskaran from Singapore for his app, right? Because that connects very well with the concept of unless something which cannot be measured cannot be improved. And with his mobile app, giving an opportunity for everybody to go download and measure their carbon footprint, how much carbon footprint they are emitting. So really appreciate that efforts. And then quickly moving on to the SDG goal status, and my topic of today's is advancing the 17 SDG goals through the energy triangle. And let's understand what are the SDG goals and where we are right now. So this is the latest update from the United Nations General Secretary that we are almost this target started in 2015 and we're supposed to complete by 2030, and we are somewhere around more than halfway. In 2024 we have crossed the 9 years since we formulated these targets, and how much we have achieved till now against these sustainable development goal targets. and you will be shocked. And many may not be the shock, but most of the people must be aware that we have achieved total 15% collectively. So ideally, we should be at somewhere around 55 or 60% because we have already crossed the halfway in terms of timeline, but we are at just 15%. And surprisingly surprised, there are some goals, especially SDG goal number 7, which is in negative. So should we worry? Yes, the answer is yes. So what we need here, we need a rescue plan to rescue the earth, which is being, targeted by these SDG 17 goals. So we need a rescue plan to rescue the rescue plan. So this is some insights and some data which I managed to gather from some universities, especially Manchester University in UK, that why we have not achieved these goals and what are the reasons that we are missing these targets. Were they too ambitious or overstretched, or they were just put together in a haste, in quick hurry, right? So based on that, their research, the possibility how these SDG targets can be contributed and can be fulfilled 53% by political will, 17% roughly around corporate will, then 14% by the local communities contribution, and 12% by our individual contribution. So obviously the biggest culprit or the root cause that why we are not meeting these targets and why we will not meet these targets in 2030 as well is the political will. Like when the leaders came together in 2015 in Paris in United Nations event, but they all talked big, they all made promises, they all signed those pledges of one together, and but they are not making significant efforts. And why they are not making? Because they might be accountable, but are they answerable? Probably the answer is no. So let's deep dive into these 17 SDG goals and how they are connected or interconnected with the energy triangle. So I would like to start with this, how we can energize our future by balancing the security and sustainable development. So today we stand at a crossroad in our global journey towards sustainable development. Everybody is talking about the sustainable development, and of course we need to have a sustainable development to sustain the development and the growth of humanity and the human race in itself. The choice we can make in the hope we produce, consume, and think about energy will shape the future of our planet and generation to come. So yeah, so what exactly happened in 2015? 193 countries came together and they formulated a plan to save the earth with these 17 sustainable development goals by 2030. But how they are connected, how they are interconnected with each other, a very simple approach developed by Stockholm. I will come back to on this slide later. Stockholm Resilience Center. So these 17 goals are connected with each other in the form of layers. So the foundation layer is environment layer, which connects and provide a support to the society layer, and society layer gives support to the economy layer. So let's say if we move on. So environment layer basically covered the 4 key sustainable goals, SDG goals, like life below water, climate action, clean water and sanitation, and life on land. And the society layer covers the 8 major SDG goals like no poverty, no hunger, good health and well-being, quality of education, and so on. And the economy goal is basically talking about, reducing the inequalities, responsible consumption and production, and also the partnership to achieve all with the 17 SDG goals to achieve the ultimate target of our these 17 goals. So this is very simply, very well connected, interconnected, all these 17 SDG goals. Coming back to the energy triangle, what does it mean by the energy triangle? So energy triangle basically represent the energy security, which is reliable and uninterrupted access to the energy, which is again the very, very well articulated and connected it with the SDG goal number 7 of universal access to the affordable and clean energy to everyone. And the another point in the triangle is environmental sustainability, right? So without energy and energy consuming energy, it's almost impossible to make progress for human race. But to progress at the same time, we need to take care of our environment. So managing the production and consumption of energy to minimize environmental impact is a very critical point in this energy triangle. And also the economic development, promoting economic growth through energy investment is an essential. And all these, energy triangle is basically connecting all these 17 SDG goals together. Especially if you talk about energy security is crucial for achieving SDG goal 7, which is universal access to the affordable and clean energy, and also connected with SDG goal number 9, which is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And also this is connected environmental sustainability SDG goal number 13, which is climate action, SDG goal number 14, which is life below water, and SDG goal 15, which is life on land. And economic growth, which is SDG goal number 1, no poverty, and SDG goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. So if you see that broadly, all or most of the SDG goals are interconnected, and they are connected with the energy triangle at the same time. And so this is, also I want to share some very good stats and insights which are being published very recently. So according to the World Economic Forum, nations who prioritize the energy triangle have seen a 20% improvement in national energy structure, and also significantly contributing to the economic stability and the growth. So this is very important. So so having an energy triangle is not a fashionable thing, or it's not just for the sake of good practices. It's actually giving the result, very good result. 28% is a significant improvement. So what's the challenge in achieving these 17 SDG goals? There are too many, right? Simply. And let's come to the energy impact on all SDG goals. So you can see that what we are trying to achieve with these SDG goals. So we want to, reduce the income inequality, gender inequality. If you pick up any reports in any part of the world, there is a definitely, pay gap in gender equality in terms of gender, whether it's in UK, US, Western world, Eastern world, Africa. So how we can reduce, right? And this inequality impact mostly on the women, and most vulnerable people on women and children. And because disproportionate distribution of the wealth and the resources. And there is a very good graph, if you see here, that no such thing as a low energy and rich country. So if country wants to become rich, or wants to deal with poverty or eradicate poverty or the disparity or inequality, they have to consume energy, right? And for that, uh, the recommended energy consumption by this United Nations SDG goal is 250 kilowatts per hour per year in rural area, and 500 kilowatt per hour per year in urban household. This is much, much lesser compared to what we are consuming right now in UK, especially close to 10,000 kilowatt per hour per year in rural area, and more to around 12,000 kilowatt per hour per year in urban areas. So these are very reasonable, well below the reasonable limit. These goals are set by the United Nations, World Economic Forum at that point of time. And very sad figure that 4 billion people die every year due to the insufficient cooking practices, lack of clean fuel, right? They do not have proper gas stove or the cooking gas at their homes, and probably also not the electricity. So they are cooking their food on by probably the wood, charcoal, biofuels, so which is ultimately create a chronic disease in their health and their family's health, and which impacts the entire region, community, and the nation as well. And we all are talking about the clean, affordable, renewable, green energy, but imagine 2.3 billion people do not have access of any kind of energy, right? So they are probably dependent on just wood, charcoal, or the basic source of energy, and or maybe they work only between when the sunlight is available. So yeah, so we need to rethink, like in UK or especially in the Western Europe, there is a lot of resistance in terms of embracing the nuclear energy. Yeah, because here we have energy sufficiency, but think about the countries in Africa, Asia, Latin America, various countries where people do not have access of any kind of energy, right? Any kind of electricity or any kind of clean cooking gas. So we need to extend first them, right? The energy supply, some kind of energy supply, right? And to meet the energy target by 2030, we need to invest 43 billion US dollar every year to achieve the target which has been set in 2015. So we are far, far behind in terms of where we should be right now. And I would like to talk about a very particular term called energy poverty. So I'm not sure if I'm sure most of the people must have heard about it. So unless we address this energy poverty, we cannot progress. Energy poverty can be found in all conditions where there is a lack of adequate, affordable, reliable, quality, safe, and environmentally sound energy service to support development. So, and country also, the statement is equally true. Countries with the low electricity consumption also tend to have high level of poverty. So if countries want to overcome with the poverty and deal with this gigantic problem of poverty, they need to come up with the more energy consumption. They need to come up with the more energy sources, or ideally speaking, from the renewable sources. But yes, but do we have any plan right now? Maybe in some form or shape, yes. There are some countries who are actively working, especially in the Western Africa, very well supported by the European Union. And also by eliminating the reducing energy poverty, we can reduce the inequality. This is a very important word, right? Very important sentence in terms of, unless how people are progressing, how the inequalities can be reduced by making people more rich in terms of energy consumption. So that's how we can eliminate the energy poverty and we can reduce the energy inequalities. So I'm not sure if anybody knows that the 26 people on planet Earth owns the wealth which is equivalent to the 3.8 billion bottom people in the bottom, right, collectively having wealth. So, and I think 1% of population having wealth of more than double the wealth of remaining 99% people. So this is a huge inequality, right? And unless we redistribute sources, of course, judicially and wisely, we just cannot take it and give it to somebody, right? But with a proper way, we cannot achieve these SDG goals, right? Because they are very nice on paper, very nice to talk, but unless we come up with a very solid plan and the very strong political commitment, right? So political pledges, signing a document is not the only solution, but also putting into the manifesto of the political parties that how they are going to drive the net zero. Like in UK, Conservative Party, the ruling party here, they might be planning to come up. I'm not sure about it, but I heard somewhere that they are putting into their manifesto that how they are planning to achieve the target of net zero by 2050. So that's all from my side. It's more political, more policy related, and more technology related efforts or the strategy, comprehensive strategy and action we need to take collectively to achieve these 17 SDG goals in some form or shape, even if it is not 100%, maybe around 50% by 2030. That's it from my side. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Praveen. With that, we come to the round one. We are closing the round one, completing the round one, and all of them have done a wonderful job. We'll go to the round two, which is a question session. Already it is 8:40, so we are planning to complete it by 9. But anyway, let it go. I will throw one question to each speaker so that they can talk about it, and we will see how the time is going. My first question is to Mr. Anil Thomas. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Being a developing country, how can India harness the benefits of technological advancements such as smart grids, energy storage solutions, and digital platforms to enhance the efficiency, reliability, and resilience of energy system when compared to the developed country?
Yeah, actually, it's more as you said that it's the smart grid and the storage solution will be the top in that list actually. And we have to find out a better solution, have to find out better technologies for storage and smart grid, which can integrate with renewable. Because if the digital solutions also plays AI, as said earlier, it's also plays in a resilience grid actually. If we can happen in these things, that AI technology along with smart grid and storage solution, I think integrating renewable will be much easier.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll go to the one more question also I can ask, I guess, but it's okay. One round I will ask. Sir, this question is to Bhaskaran, sir, Mr. Bhaskaran. Sir, We heard that you have led a global campaign for SDG 7 action, Go Green Singapore. Can you elaborate on that, sir? How the campaign was done, how the awareness was created?
Thank you. You know, all the speakers were speaking, right? So I do not think businesses and governments will be really interested to meet the net zero goals because no country wants to reduce their GDP year on year. No business would like to reduce their revenue year on year. So I felt like this app was started developing in 2019, and then we approached Ministry of Sustainability in 2023, early 23. They went through 3 months of rigorous like verification. The idea, we should be able to support, climate action, SDG 12, responsible consumption 13, and then life on land. With the objective, like let's say, 8.1 billion people are there. If they reduce 1 kilowatt hour every month, right, we should be able to reduce around, 97 terawatt hour per year. How can we engage people to practice sustainability with responsible consumption? The issue, we are not responsible at all. We keep on consuming more and more. When the next session on 18th, I'll talk about this. So we worked with the Ministry of Sustainability and Environment to launch a Go Green SD campaign, which was launched last year from July, in the month of July. Again, this year we're participating from June 12 to July 14. The app was made available to all the citizens of Singapore. They can download the app, use the app for 1 month free. They can track the carbon footprint. With the idea, there's a lack of awareness. It's the same people, whether he's an individual, he's a business owner, he's working in agriculture sector, he's a student, he's a youth. So we want to create that awareness among individuals to track. And then also the idea also we don't want the data to be monetized by anybody. In fact, the app what we develop can be used without Wi-Fi internet. Nobody believes that the app could be used without Wi-Fi internet. So I challenge them, download the app, install it, cut off your Wi-Fi internet, the app will work. Idea to empower individuals to use the app to track their consumption, look at what they're consuming, how to reduce their consumption. Because the last year, from November 2023 onwards to Jan, the electricity cost in Singapore has gone by 35%. But my income is not going up. Recession and then inflation, the cost of living in Singapore is so high. It's one of, the costliest city to live in Singapore. So how do I enable, I'm doing cost reduction. So I look at my energy cost. I look at the air conditioner I use, in Singapore, you cannot live without aircon nowadays. So I use it for 1 hour, then I switch it off for 1 hour. I take public transport. All the simple measures can actually empower, engage everybody, to take action in whatever small steps they're doing, to practice sustainability, to support SDG 17 goals. Unless the individuals participate, SDG goals will not be met. We have been talking in COP, from 1995. We'll be talking about this in 2150 also, because people will take flights, go to other parties, talk about it, flights that particular goal, but when they come back, who's going to implement it, who's going to practice that? So that is where I can I even spoke to Ministry of Forest and the Environment in New Delhi with Lifestyle. I gave them the same offer to them. We can launch the campaign for entire India for 140 million people at one go. We don't need that kind of infrastructure because we are a sustainable IT app, because you can work without internet and Wi-Fi. But political parties, governments are being government, it wasn't accepted. But so we are working with Singapore government. I'm willing to work with any government anywhere in the world, any businesses, any individuals to ensure everybody understands and then take steps to be a responsible consumer to reduce their carbon footprint. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That's a good example which we can follow in India also. We will do that, sir. My next question is to Dr. Loveling Gaur, ma'am. Are you there, ma'am?
Yes.
Hello. Ma'am, you have talked about green AI and dark side of AI. What are the strategies to reduce the carbon footprint caused by AI without compromising the data quality?
Yeah, so yes, I have already discussed. So how to use, AI sustainably. So important is that in course curriculum, it is, it will going to start in the colleges. The teachers, first faculty, and the people who are actually developing these course, they should know that, the coding part, what is the length of the coding, and that the how much electricity or carbon emission it will going to generate. So how they will going to teach to students to create compact models. Apart from that, everywhere you need not to apply deep learning. Somewhere machine learning can also help. And then we also need to add federated learning in the curriculum. So I think so first curriculum has to be reframed, and there we need to focus upon the sustainable AI component rather than just teaching them AI and then leaving them free to take or leverage of AI anywhere. So that is one area where we should focus upon. That is a responsibility of all the colleges and the students who are taking this course. So this is one thing. Apart from that, quantum computing, and then I was talking about specialized processors. Those energy efficient processors are required. Compact generation AI models. All these things are the solutions for to reduce the impact of AI.
Ma'am, I have another question. For example, when you use deep learning or machine learning in the place of AI, the data quality is maintained, ma'am? There won't be any compromise in a data quality?
No. Data quality is the first step. So when we are talking about, the input is the data. So the data which you have collected from the, whatever resources, that needs to be very clean and without bias. So, data quality aspects are totally different thing, which I normally, this is a very, a point which I normally talk with the Praveen, and he always talk about the bias issues. So data quality biasness, that is totally separate thing. But this input goes to the AI model, right? And there, interpretations and training part and everything happens, which actually leads towards the carbon emission. So data quality is totally different thing, which needs a special, consideration from everywhere. Whether it is corporate stakeholders or employees, whosoever it is, they are responsible for data quality.
Okay, let me rephrase it, ma'am. What about the data? I mean, output of the outcome. Like when you use a AI or deep learning or machine learning, if you use a machine learning in the place of deep learning, the outcome is same, ma'am? Is it the same?
No. It happens with the prediction. So accuracy. The model depends on the accuracy, whether it is 98% accuracy, 99%. Normally people think that in the deep learning, if we will going to, increase the training part, automatically, it is like for a student, we are increasing a lot of other lectures because that person is not learning. So we are just, putting more efforts and resources because that person is not learning. That will not going to, alone increase the efficiency. There are other aspects also. Data quality is another aspect that will going to improve the model. Right. So we are just focusing that we should, as a faculty, as a course curriculum developer, we also know that what should be taught to our students.
Okay.
But this is a very new field and many people are not aware of this.
Yes, it's very new for us and it is going to affect energy. So carbon footprint from AI is a very different concept. So it is a very eye-opener for us. Our next question, sir, P.S. Kumar sir, Dr. P.S. Kumar sir. Sir, you were talking about bioplastics, nanoplastics, microplastics. Can you differentiate all these things and what are the role they play in the carbon footprint and, energy efficiency? Can you throw some light on it, sir?
Yeah. See, if you take bioplastics, I already put the slide where you have a bio-based bioplastics and fossil-based bioplastics. Fossil-based bioplastics, something are degradable, something is non-biodegradable. So I would recommend, people should stop using all fossil-based plastics, should move towards bio-based, biodegradable plastics. So if you take it, simple example, if somebody is saying to you, it's a bioplastics, put it in the water. And if it dissolves in that water, then it is bioplastics. Okay. But if you put it some material, which they call it as a bioplastics, because it's a confusing word which is used by many of the manufacturers, and they say that it will take 3 months or 6 months or 2 years. It will take. It will not degrade in 3 years, 6 months, or 2 years. Also, you need to have a proper environment. That means you need to have temperature, you need to have humidity. So many things are there. So that is not going to help you at all for the bioplastics. About the microplastics and nanoplastics, which what I can say is currently we don't have any methods and measures by which we can say how much amount of microplastics, how much amount of nanoplastics are coming into the, because it's a non-proper usage, non-proper utilization of the material for the particular purpose, and it is abrasion, it is happening because of the UV, so many factors involved. So microplastics and nanoplastics are the problem. So the only way to control the all microplastics and the nanoplastics is to get into the reuse of the plastics. That means you don't start abusing plastics. You should pay for the more price for the recycled plastics. And chemical recycling is very expensive where we are going for a, so basic thing is to reduce plastics. The more you reduce the plastics, you are going to get benefited. But the moment you start talking of reducing, the price goes up, because alternative material, as I told you, it is going to be expensive, and people should be ready for that. That's the thing.
So you were discussing about the health issues also, right, sir?
Yes.
That is nanoplastics, microplastics.
Yes. Health issues, that's why I'm saying it's very difficult. What happens is, and some plastic particle goes inside your body, which we are going to cover it on 18th. It is going to create so many problems in your body, which already many people are facing it without the knowledge, is because of the plastics. But what will happen is, somewhere it affects the brain, somewhere it affects your lungs, somewhere it affects your what you call kidney or your reproductive system. So many things is creating it. So we cannot identify from where it came, how it is going to get affected people, because it is not possible to eliminate microplastics and nanoplastics. So that is going to have a problem. So we have to get out of this problem is to start reducing usage of fossil-based plastics.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
Mr. Bhaskaran raised the hand.
Yeah, Mr. Bhaskaran, that's what I wanted to ask.
So you mentioned about many people, they drink out of plastic bottles, and then it affects their health. My question is the titanium-based plastic bottles are good for health? Is it proven?
Yeah, see, the thing is, what happens is, plastic bottles, if you take it, and there are 2, 3 things are there. First is, if you are taking a PET bottle, PET is the most commonly used PET bottle. This PET bottle is meant for single-time usage. Like single-time usage means a bottled water can come to the destination or the customer, and the customer consumes it. After that, it has to go for recycling. But today, what happens, I don't know about other countries, with respect to India, what happens is, these bottles, we throw it on the railway station and bus stations. These bottles are picked up, and again, people buy lot of caps only and connect the ordinary water, put the cap on it. So the first thing to eliminate is unethical doing business is put the bottle cap into the bottle. So there we are ensuring that bottle has to get recycled. So many people already in the world will start using this, like putting a bottle. Second thing is, if you take a polycarbonate bottle. So what polycarbonate bottle, it emits BPA. Bisphenol. What will happen is harmful for the people. Earlier it was banned now. Now throughout the world it is banned. Nobody should use polycarbonate bottle. So that is also. The third thing is Triton. It is not titanium, it is Triton bottle, which is an advanced version developed in Japan, that material is ability to withstand the temperature. It is BPA free. Like you can get it in your what you call our big corporate centers or even Amazon. If you look out bottles, if you ask for it, it is a plastic bottle. But if you made it of Triton, TRITAN, that material is completely safe. But best thing is, my suggestion is to use pot water or use water with the stainless steel. That is the best thing. So don't go for any of the plastics. That's my suggestion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That is actually a good question. Now, my next question is to Mr. Praveen Tomar. Sir, are you there? Praveen is there?
Yes, Anuradha ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sir, my question is, how can we address the challenges of energy access and affordability in rural and remote areas while ensuring social inclusion and empowering local communities to participate in sustainable energy initiatives? Since you have covered energy poverty, I wanted to ask you this question, sir.
No, absolutely.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a very good question. So, so taking the, first of all, energy at the rural areas or the remote area in itself is a quite challenging. So it is required a lot of investment in the rebuilding the infrastructure or enhancing the existing infrastructure, energy infrastructure. And also it is required to adopt state-of-art technologies and integration of the renewable energy sources like a smart grid, right? Which is especially in UK, it is quite good, but compared to the UK or the Western Europe, if you compare it with Middle East, African countries or Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, they are not really good compared to UK. So yeah, so rural areas, and also the process of optimization, right? Conducting the energy audit, enhancing the heat integration, streamlining the operation. So energy waste or the transmission losses can be reduced, and those the energy cost to the end consumer will be reduced. So the people who are in the rural areas or the remote area, they can also afford it. And also creating the habit or the practice of behavioral change with the proper behavior, studying the behavioral science and data science, and proper training that how to promote the energy consciousness culture, right? It's not just about switching off your laptop or your lamp or the light at home, but also when to use, how to use, and this will promote a lot and save a lot of energy. And this energy can be redirected to the areas or the most deprived areas of the part of the country anywhere, and these people can also use and have access to the energy. So it's not only there is a one solution, it has to be a more comprehensive strategy, both from technology side, policy side, and also from the behavior sides of the user. So then only we can achieve and help the people who are currently living in the energy poverty, right? So this is a term which needed to be coined somewhere in the important documents of let's say political parties or the policies or policy making of federal government, central government, or the local government. Then we will be able to help it, right? Otherwise, even let's say the election campaigns are going on in India and nobody is talking about that we are going to electrify how many villages or the areas which are not being electrified since 1947, right? So there is no commitment from the political side, right? Or the people who make the policies. So it has to come from the top and needed to be executed with the proper technology and infrastructure support by the local administrative and government.
Yes, sir. I totally agree about the commitment. And as you said, none of the, parties are saying that commitment. Yeah, that is actually one thought-provoking thing. We have to look into it. My final question is to Dr. Deepak Vaikar, sir, because his theme is Sustainable Energy Action Plan. So he could actually comprehend and summarize all people think, because whenever it comes to a sustainable energy action plan, so he can summarize everyone. So my question to you, sir, what are the key strategies outlined in the action plan to promote the transition to sustainable energy? How does the action plan address the challenges of energy access and affordability, particularly in developing countries. Is it okay, sir?
Okay. Thank
Can I
you. Thank you very
repeat?
much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
No, go ahead. I know you have put very long-ended question, twisted nicely. Okay. And therefore, I get one part. Okay. Sustainable energy systems. Let us, as I mentioned, because sustainable means we should be able to sustain for a longer duration and with compromising without duration and beyond that. Okay. So that is what you're talking about, sustainable energy system for the sustainable development. Okay. Now, when we want to achieve those goals, and United Nations, as well as new terms you must have heard about, ESG, they have come. Okay. So one part is sustainable development goals are for the public sector and individuals you can relate. Okay. So whatever action you want to take, suppose though we are very fancy of those who come from policy, those who come from multinational, those who come from big organizations, they want to have top-down centralized solution, and that is where we get trapped. Then we say we need trillions of dollars of investment if you want to go there, and all of us forget about the distributed nature, what they call the bottom up. And the renewable energy is more powerful when you do it distributed manner. While you want to talk about smart grids, investment like it, private sector like it, because billions of dollars of investment coming, they say they can create jobs, but they take time and where you find the money. Whereas the microgrid, okay, microgrid is doable at the local level, institutional level, organizational level. You do not need substantial investment for that. Okay. Now, if you have heard about these two terms, distributed generation and microgrid, if we promote that, the rural sector can take care of it. Now, obviously, those who are advanced countries, they feel that we should have very, very sophisticated systems. So they want to have smart grid, IoTs, AIs, everything put there, and they feel that they are very advanced. That is their mindset thinking. And they got money, they want to spend there. And as Bhaskaran was mentioning, hey, you want to travel from point A to point B, you have got various options, but if you want to go in the Mercedes and Benz, you think you are king of the roads. There is a mindset, okay? After you say, I just want to travel. I want to go there and do a good business. But that is not there. I mentioned that we want to follow that luxurious lifestyle which has been shown to us by Hollywood, Bollywood, America, Europe, okay? And they say, oh, that is our lifestyle and we should aspire for that. Then we want more. Dil mange more. Dil mange more. Then you will see. That is what I said by Pramij. Okay, give us everything, they will get more money. Others, they keep on losing money. Okay, that is one part. So all this development plan, so as I mentioned, SDG is for public sector and government organization and individuals, and that is where they come in plan. COP29 is predominantly for them. So you come up with a plan for 2028. We say, okay, double energy efficiency, triple renewables, and transit away from the fossil fuels. Okay, third is most challenging one. The first one requires typically low-hanging fruit, engineering, management, and your even common sense. That is doable, I would say. That is doable. Do it. Do it, and immediately you can do it. Renewables require investment. Some places you will get it, some places you will not. Okay. The next part comes because now corporates wants money. That is where GDP must increase, the poverty has to reduce, and politicians you say talking about GDP because they are looking for creating jobs. And moment you say we want to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and bring carbon taxes and something, businesses get worried, and then you might say business might shift, and they have feeling that they might lose the jobs. So therefore, they will not talk. They want to get elected, correct? They don't want to just, they don't get paid for other salaries like civil servants and others. They have to get elected. So they will talk something on which they can promise and get elected. So that part is definitely there. Now, how they can bring it when the more and more younger generation wants it. Younger generation say, hey, enough of this simple thing. I want better lifestyle. I want better health. As I mentioned, the three things we have affected, including United States of America. You think about it again. And developing countries. Air pollution is increasing. Check your PSI. Then water resources are going down. You're going to pay more of it, and you're not going to get a good quality water. And if you're using plastic, as said by Dr. P.S. Kumar nicely, then your health is going to also go down. And most importantly is your food, which requires tremendous energy. Rural sector requires tremendous energy because they want to grow using agricultural land, flat land, okay, which requires water, energy, and other resources, human resources. So all these are, and that is why you say why there are farmers who are complaining in India, because they are putting more inputs, but output, as you ask, the prices are going down because there is a competition market. So they say they can't recover even their cost, and therefore they agitate. So to provide them those inputs which are of reasonable cost, we need to what we call is for individual SDGs, then for corporate ESGs. Okay, ESG, environmental social governance. This is required by corporate now. Okay, and I think Bhaskaranji will tell us that in Singapore now for 2025, it is a mandatory for almost every corporate to fill up that form and show action. And their carbon tax, Singapore is one of the countries which has introduced carbon tax. It means you will pay based on what you report there. They can estimate, and it will be audited, verified, whatever, and you have to pay that tax on that. So that is action for the corporate to change. Because to change people's mindset, some of you already mentioned, behavioral change is one of the toughest one. Okay. So to attract young people, you just put AI-based, okay, energy system, AI-based something, write it, or green AI, something, apply that, and the young people might flock there and try to learn about it. They get educated. Then we have got a wonderful entrepreneur like Bhaskaran. This app for them to use it and see it and learn about it. And then education takes longer time, but that is how we have to think about what intervention strategies that are needed. And I think Ravanji can agree on this one. The policies needs to be there for intervention policies. Okay, and for this purpose, I think United Nations has agreed this one. Most of them, those plans are having two components. One called common, but second is called but differentiated responsibilities. Common, they agreed that everyone must contribute to reduction in greenhouse gas emission. How much? What is the base year? To what extent? Then it's a differentiated one. For developing countries, they are allowing more time. For developed countries, they are going, and then they will be, you are in that big club there, so you have to enter over there. Then you need to show that performance. Okay, and you know, the rich people, they want to go to the club, they need to have that rich performance, then and then they are admitted there. That will be influential for them. Education, I agree with you, Dr. Loveling. She mentioned that we start putting in curriculum and instruct our professors and lecturers and teachers to tell them about both aspects. Okay. New technology, we should learn about it, and but apply the technology. Very common in India. I recall when I was in India more than 25, 30 years back, and at that time they used to talk about appropriate technology, because you do not want to bring technology which may be very hi-fi, but it is going to lose. It is going to create other problems, including loss of jobs. Okay, that is one part. Second time, you want to bring appropriate level. You can see it. While India took longer time to accept the telecommunication revolution, you might know in the story, okay? But when they accepted it, they could go straight away from instead of wired to the wireless, mobile, faster one. Okay, so infrastructure cost was almost reduced on that part. They have to put directly in this. Same way for IT, information technology. And then now you will see the same development happening for AI, that they have moved very late, and there was less regulations the entire industry. Similar thing, as I mentioned, for energy, things are coming. I can tell you, okay, things are coming. Research is going on. That is where we should. I recommend strongly invest in research. They are realizing it now. You just, because earlier phases, developing countries, you think I will just copy from somewhere and just use it, but no more. You're not able to just copy. You may be caught, and then you may have to pay heavily later on. Okay, so IPs and everything coming there, so invest in research and development and education and skill development. Those parts are definitely there, and that will bring a long-term impact. Because once that mindset is changed, then you do not need so many of regulation. That's become a self-regulated system. They start doing it. So, but mindset change requires substantial time, substantial effort. And that is the job all of us should do it. It is not the only responsibility of the professors and universities and schools and colleges. In fact, our mothers, our parents, our relatives are wonderful teachers.
Yes.
Uncles and aunties, okay, or even suppose, I can tell you very frankly, my children will listen to Bhaskaran much more than I, if I tell them, hey, use this app. That's okay, Papa, I will think about it. But if I had to just introduce in Bhaskaran, talk to them about it, they say, oh, Papa, what a wonderful idea Bhaskaran is. That is a fact. So we have to use our influences. They talk about social influence, whatever you talk about, start using that one. So that there is a mindset changes coming. And in that, I must congratulate Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Anuradha, and Preetha, and all your team. Okay, you are bringing us together to share our thoughts, but at the same time, allowing us to deliberate, discuss, and propagate or share only. I'm saying, that's why I'm just sharing it. And enjoy sharing the basic, the fundamental change come over there. So what is going to hit them, that is I'm talking about. If you don't take care, whatever you think, you say we are the young nation, but what you are doing, you're smothering them with the polluted air. You're feeding them poor quality food. So they are drinking water, which is going to create more diseases. You're going to spend more on healthcare. That will be a tremendous impact, okay? And obviously, some nice things still be are needed. And I'm very happy each one of our speaker gone deeper and given statistics, methodology, how to use it. So I congratulate all the experts. They have done a wonderful job. I myself learned from each one of you and look forward to further interaction.
Yes, sir.
And once again, those who are on social media, YouTube, everything, spread this message. Usually when I mention action, my action plan is there. What is your action plan? Okay. Are you going to come here, just fill up that form? Somebody asking, I want to fill up the attendance, or you're going to say, after listening to these experts, if you're good in writing, write article, whether it's on your LinkedIn, on your social media, or wherever it is. If you're good at doing something, go and do it. Social service to somebody. Go there, rural areas, go there and share with them. Hey, something can be done like this. And with the permission of our experts and the organizers, we can give you this recorded version. You can use it. Share with them. This is the first thing first. Share. Let them learn. We are not going to force them. Once they feel it is important, then they will be asking more. Dil mange more. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. Being a
yes,
senior citizen to share at the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Not for that. You have put everything very brilliantly in a place, and you have given a different path also. Thank you so much for your comprehending the whole thing, sir. So with that, we come to an end of this panel discussion preview on 6 global themes of Energathon 2024, shaping the energy future. Adapting to climate consequences protects people, homes, businesses, livelihoods, infrastructure, and natural ecosystem. It covers current impacts and those likely in the future. Adaptation will be required everywhere, but must be prioritized now for the most vulnerable people with the fewest resources to cope with the climate hazards. We need to jumpstart the renewable energy transition now. We can still limit climate change if we act now. The choices we make today will determine the changes in the climate we will experience in the future. Large and sustained reduction in emission of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions would limit climate change. If we act now, we can limit climate change and preserve the livable planet. We have the knowledge, tools, and resources to secure the livable, sustainable future for all. With that, we come to an end, and I thank each and every one of my speakers for, spending their valuable time and giving such a knowledge to us. Thank you, sir. Once again, we meet you in the next week on 18th, full day, 24 hours. We will be organizing some of your events also. I'm looking forward to all the programs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, everyone, and madam. Thank you. Preeta?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, all the wonderful speakers, Mr. Praveen, Dr. P.S. Kumar, Professor Deepak, Bhaskaran sir, and ma'am. It was very wonderful, fantastic, Lovelin ma'am. It is a very, very nice that we had a very good panel today. So I thought of having like this panel after the Energathon also. So that rightly pointed out by Deepak, Professor Deepak. So we already implementing the concept of energy saving mantras. I think already we forwarded that. Most of our people already know that. Saving 1 unit per day at home. So this concept is very famous in India, and we are communicating. We have 35 energy saving clubs in India where already people start implementing, and 250 ambassadors we already created, and we are planning to create another 1,000 ambassadors for that. It means that each person will reach 99 home and created awareness, not only created awareness, motivated the home to implement this 9 mantra to save 1 unit per day. So that it will save 1.3 kilogram carbon dioxide per day. So this concept we started implementing, and we got very good outcome. So even though it is a very small savings, but collectively, if you look on, it will be a very good success. And now the app which we are going to add on with this Energy 99 challenge, we call this project as Energy 99 challenge. And now we are planning to add this app, Bhaskaran sir app, add on to that, so that particular students we can able to measure the CO2 emission, CO2 footprint also. That is the plan. And hopefully PS Kumar sir also given a lot of ideas regarding this. So collectively, we together we can able to do some contribution for the that is SDG goals 2030. So thank you all. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks,
for
everyone.
IGN
Thanks.
team for doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Rita, are you there? You can propose.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That was a brilliant discussion on diverse range of perspectives and expertise. It was truly enriching. I thank all our speakers who shared their valuable thoughts, time, and efforts to put this panel discussion to a great level. And they have shared their valuable thoughts in global themes of Energathon 2024. With great hearts, we acknowledge all your efforts, and I thank our partners and sponsors for the generous support. I thank Dr. Anuradha ma'am, the moderator, for wonderfully weaving and hosting this session. We thank Dr. L. Ramesh for organizing such noble cause for the betterment of the society. We thank all our attendees for their active participation, and I have seen in the chat box very good inputs was coming from the participants. We thank our sincere gratitude to the organizing committee, which is led by the Dr. Sahira and Dr. Lakshmi. We look forward to see you in the Energy Mega Marathon event planned in May 18th, and request all of you for your gracious presence. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you. Good night and have a good day. Good night for
you all.
us and
Thank you all.
good
Thank
day for ma'am, lovely ma'am. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuradha ma'am.
Anuradha, yeah, thank you very
Sir.
much. Just
Very
uh,
nice, ma'am.
Thank you,
you
sir.
for
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Ramesh. Just I want
Thank
to
you,
make
sir.
one request. Yeah, on 18th of May morning, I have what is happening is some renovation is going on in my house.
Okay.
Is it okay? I send you my video and you can play there.
Okay. So I will check
Morning,
it, sir.
because
If any possible, we can able to reschedule in the some other time, sir. I will check it and come back to you, sir.
in the evening, like I mentioned to Professor Anuradha.
Yes, madam.
But in
Anuradha
the
madam
evening,
informed
suppose
me already.
yes,
Yes, I
7
will check
p.m.
it.
7
Yes,
7:30 or something, then I will be back.
Yes,
Then
sir.
I will
Yes.
give live. Otherwise, I will just record a video. You can play.
Okay. Okay.
Sir,
Okay,
but
sir.
sir is
Suppose I
giving
know you wanted.
Sir.
Professor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Anuradha ma'am, we will check
okay, sir.
we will work on the schedule, ma'am, and we will
Yes,
come
sir.
back.
Yes, sir. And he's talking in
Otherwise,
T4 theme 4, sir.
Okay, ma'am. That is okay. That is okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Niranjan. Thank you, Niranjan, and backstage team. Those who are in the Niranjan, you can close it there.
Okay.
Thank you, Niranjan.
Okay, ma'am.